everyone, to Call of Cthulhu Below the Land of Fire. We are here and we are excited. Well, most of us are here, but we are all excited. Those of us that are here. Unfortunately, some people are just not feeling very well. It's that time of year. It's winter. People get sick. People get, unwell, and therefore they are immune from death this day in Call of Cthulhu. They're the only ones immune from death, however, because they're not here, and I don't kill people when they're not here. So, let's go around our possible death candidates for tonight. Not that it's a guarantee, but it's always a possibility. Yutsai, how are you this evening?
I am doing okay. Midweek, we're getting through it. We are surviving, just like how we'll survive in this game. Wait, do I do an intro? Is this intro time?
Yeah, intro time. Go for it.
I'm Yutsai. I play Parker Lee, a pawn shop owner who's away from his pawn shop, and he feels very sad about that. Honestly, though, he probably would rather be anywhere other than where he is currently.
Valid. That's fair. Becky obviously is not here tonight. Bobby May Dean and no other is Bronwyn, so they are anywhere else but here tonight. Someone who is stuck with us though tonight would be our token Canadian. Snow, how are you?
I am doing great. For once, I'm not sick. Woo!
Woo!
And I am taking my apple a day to keep the doctor away today.
Good.
That's why she's gone, obviously. And as
makes sense.
for...
It's your fault.
I'm really sorry. Anyway, so... As for who I am, I'm Loria Lark. I'll be playing Irina Zhao. She is our resident music sound tech. Washed out musician, really. And she's getting pretty washed out down here, too, under the ocean. Doing some mechanical work to potentially, explode some things. Looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm hoping this session shall be electric.
It just might be. But someone who's definitely electric would be Dimples and Dice. How are you? Electric.
I'm existing in the world, in this cold, frozen wasteland. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine, except for what's going to happen in this game, because it's probably not going to be fine. Yes, I'm Dimples and Dice. I am playing Teddy, the terrorized Gilbert. Yeah. Hopefully we can blow this shit up. Honestly, kind of like what I'm going to do if you post this video on YouTube. Demonetizing it by saying shit a whole lot.
Oh, you think I get monetization on YouTube?
No,
that's the real joke there.
Fucking around.
I swear all you want. We don't get a monetization. No. But I would demonetize myself. I swear way too much. But we're going to go have a little recap of what happened last week. Last week we had a guest, a wonderful, fabulous guest by the name of Pruitt, also known as his character Washkeys, one of the original people who went down in the submarine and went missing. He's okay. He survived for now. And he let the group know about his underground resistance that he's kind of made. And by resistance, I mean tunnel diggers, because they want to blow up the device. They were going to cave it in, but now they're going to blow it up, because teamwork makes the dream work, and that dream is escape. For a lot of these people. So, some deaths have been faked, some more deaths are going to be faked. There was some lovely conversations between people. Some plans were made, some work was done, some work was not done very well. A date was scheduled. And, some work shifts are going to get moved around. So let's dive right into the next day, which is Tuesday, April 22nd, 1986. It's going to be great. You wake up this morning, and the plans have been put into fruition to fake a few more deaths, to get more workers down in the tunnel digging, and, people are going to swap out a bit, so you wake up and breakfast is being served. You hear that low tone, meaning that it's breakfast time. There's some lovely snail and seaweed porridge on serve, if anyone wishes to partake of that this morning.
We might die. I'll stay back and eat my not snail food, thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, Teddy will continue to pick off the MREs that he bought because
Yeah.
the snail it's just not appealing.
Oh.
I've already eaten it. I might as well keep eating it. If it doomed me from the start, it's too late already. So.
It's thankfully the snail is not one of the cursed things on offer today. So.
Wonderful.
Yep. Bobby May and our good doctor are also going to get some snail for breakfast because that's just, they're trying to blend in. So breakfast is consumed and y'all get your new work assignments. Unless there's anything you want to do before work today.
Out of curiosity, because Bob May was holding on to the transmitter before,
Yes.
was she okay?
Oh, she's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I figure it probably doesn't matter as much down here. We're in the heart of the transmission.
That was more to reach Doris.
Yeah. No, she did not make that roll last night.
Darn it.
So it
So,
happens.
If that is the case, I think I'll probably, sit in, have breakfast with Teddy, and then I'll just be like, I guess it's time to go to... Is it time to go to work already?
It's about time. Yeah.
I'm gonna bring some Tiger Balm with me.
Good
And
plan.
I'm also going to look at my, is there any reflections nearby, any reflective surfaces?
Yeah, there's plenty. I mean, you're in a ship that there's like a small mirror in like the old bathroom of the ship.
Yeah, I think she just stares at herself in the reflections like, well, this is what I look like before, just in case I get burned horribly.
No.
Yeah, I can see that.
No.
So,
Teddy is
Never
just
remember my face,
blowing this bitch up. It's not gonna last. Blowing it up. It's not gonna last. We're
so
not doing this forever, Teddy.
you see Mateo come over to you guys, saying, "I've heard there's going to be some work reassignments." Parker, was it?
Yep, right here.
You're going to be on manual labor today, and Teddy, you are actually going to be on the lava forges.
Oh.
Hey, look at that. They recognize your competence, Teddy.
I fucking hate this place.
Not alone.
Yeah, alright, well, let's get it done. I mean, how many people just decide not to work? Do we got people who are like in the infirmary and just I'm sick.
There's been a couple more of those since Dr. Bronwyn's shown up, but not a lot. It seems that faking it has not proved to be very successful so far, or getting you out of work, at least.
Okay.
So you go off to your new work assignments. See, don't worry. I told you guys not to worry. Irina wasn't going to be alone on shift. Had a plan. And by me, I mean the other things. Had a plan. To try to increase competency in their field. So, let's start with the lava forges. Let's see how hazardous it is today. And this music's way too peaceful for that. So we're going to go to... There we go. This is at least a little more intense. So, how are the hazards today in the lava forge? They're alright. No big lava bubbles bursting in your faces, making you have to roll any checks. Y'all got lucky on this chart so far, let me tell you what. But it seems that the first half of your day is gonna go pretty eventful free. I will need both of you to make me mechanical repair checks.
Didn't think I sleep well then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Slow.
You're still sore. You've used the tiger balm, but only so much that helps with muscle fatigue. So the elder things are like the two elder things that have been there, are like observing, and one of them looks at the one that was monitoring Parker this whole time, looks at Teddy, and you almost get vibes of thank goodness. From it, like, started watching intensely and then was like, yeah, like, it relaxes just a hair, just a little bit, or at least is less agitated. Irina, you are, relieved momentarily from having to hammer things, and instead you're asked to sort, materials, because that will let your arm rest some today. You've got all sorts of different metals, both in refined and unrefined states, and you're to sort them accordingly to give your arm a bit of a break, to hopefully work more efficiently later in the day. Yes. Fingers crossed. And your day goes on till lunchtime with pretty much no issues. Teddy, this is your first time getting to see the device this close, though. You're still not right on top of it, but you're a lot closer to it than you are with manual labor. Weird, giant, fucked up kind of looking MRI machine. With those weird, synthetically bioengineered tubings. Looks like there's a lot more progress that was made overnight on those. There's a lot more lava running through them today.
Yeah, Teddy's just like, they're gonna be so disappointed.
Teddy's in a weirdly good mood working with forges. They're like, yeah, great. He likes this job. Good.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yep. I love this job.
And we'll cut over to Parker. Parker, let's see how your job is doing. You're on manual labor now.
Manual labor.
It's a whole new thing. Seems relatively safe. However, you have been asked to help orchestrate a fake cave-in. Well, it's not a fake cave-in, a real cave-in, to fake some more deaths for some people to get some work team stuff going on. So how do you want to assist with that? There's people who are actually setting up the right rock fall area. There's people who are going to be running distraction. What would you like to be doing? While moving rubble, of course.
Are we distracting from the bulk of the workforce, or are there like actual like minders here? Like, is Gabriel is that his name, Gabriel?
Yeah,
Was he in
Gabriel.
charge?
He's kind of imposed leader of the workers. But there are a couple elder things. They're not like hovering over you, because moving rocks is really boring. So they're like by the cart, basically keeping an eye just to make sure no one looks like they're super overtly slacking. Or fighting with each other or getting anything. So if you wanted to cause a fake scene, you'd probably want to make a distraction of some sort. You also know that they've made some distractions to get people in and out of the tunnel that they're currently digging, which Bobby May and Dr. Bronwyn want to go into today to help out.
Could I? I'm not sure if this will work. Could I start a rousing chorus of Whistle While You Work?
I love that. Yeah, I don't think there's been a lot of song working here, so that would definitely be bizarre to them. Yeah, give me a, I'd say performance check, but we're not going for that here. Give me like a fast talk or a charm, I think. It's not quite a persuade.
Yeah, I think charm works. It's like, like everyone is having a miserable time. This is kind of, I'm trying to speak to their happier place.
You also know that not all of your fellow laborers are in on this plan either, so yeah, help distract them as well. So give me a charm check. Ooh!
I'm a lot better at this.
You get a whole bunch of people singing along with Whistle While You Work, or whistling to the tune. The people who aren't in on it seem to be, their spirits are uplifted a little bit. They work a little bit easier, lighter, faster. And, oh no! At the end of the song, one of the walls fell on some people in a building. It's so those corpses will just have to be dragged away at the end of the day.
No!
Oh, how demoralizing for the people who don't know what's actually going on. And Bobby May and Dr. Bronwyn slip into the secret tunnel, which you've been shown. The point, by the way, by this point. and a couple people slip out to, like, replace and move some of the now dead people and get them in on the spiel. One of which is coming up to you, and she goes, "Great song, by the way. Excellent choice. Name's Brenda, by the way."
Hey, Brenda. Yeah, just if we're going to be down here and be miserable, I guess we can make the time pass a little faster.
I completely agree. When I tried to start working a song, it did not go over well. So I'm glad you managed to carry it off.
It's all about confidence. Hey, if you got to
optimism.
hum alone, you got to hum alone.
Yeah, I do that a lot. Can you help me with this wheelbarrow?
Sure. Ugh.
And she'll be working on your midday shift with you up to lunchtime without any real hazards. Let me see how many people from that cave in, because you guys are trying to expedite it. 5 of them. Only 1 person died for realsies in that fake wall cave in. 4 of them made it. Look, it's hazardous trying to, like, y'all don't have engineers here dropping these walls of unknown materials on things. So
I'm just gonna pretend it's like, that's a great fake body. Because they're all fake cave-ins, right? That's what I was told. Only 1 person died for real yesterday.
Only 1 person died for real today. Look, it's keeping up. Keeping up the trend. And before you know it, it's already lunchtime. The soup, because it's almost always soup for lunch. The snail and seaweed soup is brought over for the manual labor team. Now, you've been used to grilled snail, because you've been working on the device, but today, snail and seaweed soup. Yep. And, everyone gets a bowl. They get about a 30-minute break to eat this, and it's back to manual labor. Teddy, this is your first day working the forges. You've been smelting a lot of metal, and grilled snail is on the lunch menu for today. It's got a much better texture than the boiled snail, or well, can't really, you boil it, it's still alive, so the raw snail. The lava, you can actually cook it on the forge to an appropriate temperature to grill it, and it's definitely better. The soups and the porridges.
But there's no seasonings.
No, but there is a seaweed wrap that it goes into. It's like a grilled snail seaweed wrap. And there is no seasoning, yeah. Do you eat it?
I think Teddy looks at Irina as like, nah, I don't think I can do it.
She's already eating half of it. It's like, it's all right.
No. I'll just eat another Salisbury steak again.
Do you pull out those rations at the forge?
I just look at him. I was like, are you? Look.
Yeah, you've been doing it in the privacy of your own, of the chum guzzler for now.
Oh yeah, there's other people here.
Yeah, it's not just other people. It's the people. There are supervisors. The aliens, man. It's not that bad, really. It's it's okay, really. It's better than the soup, I've been told.
All right, I'll take a piece, I guess.
It's not that bad. Again, very bland. Most of the flavor comes from the seaweed. So if you like seaweed chips or crisps or sushi, the meat's very bland.
Think of it like, have you ever had a smoked tartare on...
I'm gonna get mercury poisoning. That's what's gonna happen to me, isn't it?
If it makes you feel any better, it'll probably be Bobby May and Parker who will get mercury poison first.
No, I don't think that makes me feel any better.
And if we fail that thing, we'll die from radiation first. So I think we're good.
Yeah, I guess. We weren't necessarily planning to get out of here anyway, so.
There's a slight chance. Not enough to get your hopes up, but slight.
Yeah, I know better to get my hopes up, but at least we have each other, I guess.
At least we have that. Hey, we can suffer together.
Yeah.
And just hold it with a cheers kind of tap on his little wrap.
Yeah, just. Well, there we go.
Yum. They're very high in protein. Like, look, if you were trying to get some gains, you'd be doing well right now. It's a very clean diet of volcano snail and seaweed.
Volcano snail.
The common man's term.
Magma slug.
Technically, I bet rich people would pay like a fortune to eat this as some weird sort of tartare. I bet. Like, I think Irina would actually probably say that. It's like, I think if it had egg yolk on it and some different types of other raw vegetables, it would have a pretty...
But how else would we cook it?
I mean, that's the point. Tartares are rare.
Yeah, but like, these things are like metal snail. One got shot, and it did nothing.
The shell was shot.
You just pull it out of the shell, and then I don't know how do they actually kill these things? That's a good question.
Lots of stabbing.
Like, yeah, how do they do this? That's interesting.
They also die if they get not hot. So, you just let them cool off. They die naturally. And...
That seems like it would cause some shrinkage.
It's like when you put a lobster in boiling water, but you take the volcano snail out of boiling water and it dies. It's the reverse. Reverse lobster.
It would be, when meat is too fresh, it also shrivels. That makes sense as well. It's just like, So considering this isn't really too shrunken, it's not that bad, I guess. Hey, I bet people up there would pay a ton of money for this.
I mean, listen to what we're talking about. We're talking about snails that we have to cook with magma, while alien things are building a giant MRI machine that can fuck your brains up and give you cancer.
Yeah.
And we're helping them build it.
Yeah.
After being sucked in a giant magic bubble into the ocean.
Teddy, I think if you ever wanted to, if you ever wrote a biography, no one would believe it, but I bet it would be really...
No, they'd just be like, oh, he wasn't lying about the brain damage thing.
Yeah. But you know what? A fifth of me thinks that maybe we all just died in the ship, like the island wreck in Peru, and this is just the after effects of my brain.
I mean, honestly, that would make so much more sense.
Yeah. But unfortunately, my back hurts too much.
It's very hot.
Yeah.
It's quite warm here. Yeah, it's the warmest spot in this dome, which is normally pretty chilly. It's quite warm here. The heat from the lava, which still safe today. No big lava bubbles.
Thank God.
Y'all been getting
great.
so lucky on the hazards
we
charts
have
and
been.
the sanity losses. For now.
Yeah. I just had this weird feeling that we nearly could have had all the lava just, explode in our face.
Could have been exploding in your faces
been
every
worse.
day. But it's, alas, it is not. But I do need 2 more mechanical repair checks from y'all.
Oh God, please, Irina, I need you to do good. I can't have you die on this. Alright, mechanical repair, come on. Hey!
Very nice. Irina does very well this day. This second half of the
Honestly,
shift.
It's probably like, I wonder if like I work hard enough and I angle myself this way, I might see Teddy taking off his shirt because it's too hot.
And speaking of, Teddy, could you give me your mechanical repair check?
Absolutely. One moment.
And the fans want to know, does Teddy in fact take off his shirt?
Yeah, probably just in frustration at this point.
Okay.
Explains my extreme success. Thank you.
Yeah, you were inspired.
Very inspired.
It's one of those things, Teddy, where you know some mechanical repair stuff, but you're not a blacksmith. And blacksmithing works whole different sets of muscles than you usually work out. And you're starting to get, not that you have, repetitive injuries in certain places from being a boxer for years, but you're starting to feel certain joints and muscles not like the work you're doing in the second half of the day. And it's hot, and you ate that snail. And it's just not Teddy's best day. But Irina, she's inspired. Crushing it. She's crushing it so well, in fact, that you were moved to, you're still in the Lava Forge area, but you are to work on assembling certain pieces for the device. Irina, with your extreme success, you have gained more trust, and they are impressed by your work ethic. Still keeping you off of the heavy forge work, but more on the smaller tinkering work. You're given instructions on which pieces to assemble. Do you assemble them to specification?
With my extreme success,
Yes.
it's possible
Mm-hmm.
to maybe almost assemble to specification,
Mm-hmm.
but it I have this idea. I'm not sure if it works, mostly because I am no engineer and I am not very good at the assembling of things. But you know how certain puzzle pieces, they look like they fit together, but they don't actually fit together and they're kind of ill-fitting? I kind of want to almost
Or like when you're putting a battery in and you can put it in 85% of the way, so it's looks like it's in all the way, but the connection isn't quite making it. Yeah.
Yeah, so those, it's almost, but it looks great.
Yes. They will get a chance to look. They will inspect your work, so you can do this, and it's going to be very difficult for them to see us because of your extreme. But if they roll lower than you did, they will see what just happened.
I mean, I could just be like, "Oh, I was just negligent. It's fine."
Yep.
That's
That's a good excuse. So let's see if they notice. Should also just copy
100,
/R 1D100.
Come on.
Oh, not quite 100, but they do not notice at all. They yep, that looks right. And they give you more pieces to assemble, so you can introduce some fatal flaws into these pieces at least. Cause some kinks in the machine. Make a couple cogs skip.
Yep.
And yes, also I did forget at the beginning of the day. I was too excited to get the day started. You'll have to subtract 1 sanity or health, because it is a new day.
1 point closer to goop. Let's go.
1 point closer to goop!
You really did hit us with the "Hey teacher, did you forget to give us homework?"
Hey. Some of us want to survive. Some of us want to see the little gray blob before we die. Okay, I'm almost there.
I thought you were the one who wanted to survive. To be fair, you will likely live, just maybe not in your own body.
I still don't quite understand how being a vessel works, and I've been going back and forth whether to look it up so I am clear and informed, or just keep going blind and wondering why is everyone telling me this is a bad idea.
I appreciate you so much as a player.
That's fantastic.
I haven't Googled it either, so this is...
Delightful. So, Irina, while you're sabotaging pieces of the tower and Teddy's feeling it in his bones, Parker, we're gonna cut back over to you. We're gonna see if you get any hazards. Woohoo! You get a minor hazard. Nothing huge,
Ooh.
but there is a minor hazard this day for the second half of the shift. So, Parker, you are working on clearing some rubble with Brenda Buckley. She is very optimistic. Gets along pretty much well with anyone who is okay with optimism. If they're not okay with optimism, they do not like Brenda. But if you are okay with optimism, she's a great person, cheerful person to have around.
Yep, I'm on board.
And you guys are working on loading some rubble into a wheelbarrow, and you're in a house, one of these little, well, who's to say if it's a house? You're in a building. You're not sure what it is. It's got a weird, like, reverse arches on the bottom of the floor, but then the ceiling is like a weird, like, conical spiral thing. It's weirdly shaped, and it seems that some of the interior walls have collapsed. And as you're stepping on a certain piece of rubble, the tile underneath your foot cracks and caves in. I need you to give me a dexterity check to not twist an ankle as essentially the floorboard beneath you breaks.
Here we go.
You are gonna take... It's not a lot. Something. 2 points of damage as you your foot goes through, and you don't like fall completely through. You're not stuck up to your thigh, but it's sharp. The sharp, jagged pieces of the tile like scrape against your ankle a bit. It's like you rolled it. You didn't quite twist it, but you rolled it, so it's got that soreness, a little scraped up. Otherwise, you're okay, but it's not pleasant.
This isn't pleasant. Hey, Brenda, give me a hand, will ya?
Oh my goodness, are you alright? I thought you were gonna go clean through the floor, and we would have to actually call the corpse person to get you moved out for real. And
I appreciate that, I really do, but I would rather walk out on my own before this swells up.
oh goodness, yeah. Well, since your doctor's currently in the tunnel right now, let me try to give you a little first aid.
Hey, I appreciate it.
She'll pull out from her bag like a little roll of some fabric that she's grouped up together, and she will try to first aid check you. Brenda, she does not succeed on the first aid check. She has more than the base 30, but she does not have 52.
Brenda, I can see you're really trying, but I don't think that's how that
Are you
works.
supposed to add pressure? I don't know if it's deep enough. You're supposed to add pressure. Okay, we'll just bandage it up to keep it clean. Maybe have your doctor look at it later.
Yeah, just bandage it up
Okay.
so the swelling doesn't get too bad, and
Right.
I can work with this for now.
Okay. And she does that. Yeah, she's like, sorry, I couldn't do more.
Hey, you're fine. You're fine. Rather you being here with me than some of the other folks who are kind of dead in the eyes, or
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
yeah, well, they don't understand what's going on, so I'm trying to make sure
Well,
everyone
not most
doesn't
of
give
us
up
don't
hope too
understand
much.
what's going on. But, it's fine. Things
Right.
happen. We're gonna get out of here, I hope, and everything will be great.
Right.
Just
See,
go back to life as normal.
some people don't think that. Some people have decided that we're all gonna die down here. So,
Yeah, I think those are the glass half empty kind of,
yeah, but I think we'll get out of here too.
I think so.
Hopefully, there won't be too much running. This is ugh.
I hope so. Yeah, I'm sure your doctor can patch you up real good. It doesn't look too bad. Seen deeper cuts.
Yeah,
As long as
better
you don't
than
get
that.
infected, you should be all right.
Better than that guy earlier today.
Yeah, that was, well, we did as best we could dropping that wall.
Only a few more days. Only a few more days.
A few more days. Could I have you give me a luck check?
This is my luck is not good. Hey, I succeeded.
But you succeed. So, as you're going through this house, you look down into the whole tile that you stepped into, and you see there's a room underneath it. Like a basement, one would assume. And you see some shiny, like something glinting down there, but it's very dark.
How far of a drop is it?
12 feet.
I think I'm gonna go for it.
Okay. Oh, do you tell Brenda?
Do I tell Brenda? I'm gonna go down without telling her for now. Hopefully, if I need help, I maybe can call out for her.
Because you're on a buddy system a little bit with the working, so...
Yeah.
She's like, oh no, where'd he go?
This might be a mistake. Let's roll with it.
Alright, so you're able to break off some of the sharp edges which scraped up your foot and, have, the tile is enough for you to, squeeze down into. Lower yourself down and then drop the remaining few feet. Down in this weird basement. It is almost like a natural looking cave, basement type thing. It's not super worked, but you do see some. It looks like a storage area. You see what at one point would have had to have been containers of some sort that have crumbled over time. Practically disintegrated because this area all used to be underwater. So not like crumbled to dust, but like blobbed to mush, you could say. But there are a few things that still look relatively intact. There are a couple of murals on the wall, except they're not painted, they're carved, as most of the architecture is here. You've not seen a lot of colors with paints or pigments, or they all washed away with time. But you have seen lots of bas reliefs and all sorts of other types of murals and the like. You see a couple of those on the wall here, and a few items. Some of them would appear to be like a weird kind of glass containers, and they are, looks like they're sealed over the top with something. They appear to have a liquid inside. That's probably the reflection that you saw glinting, but could you give me a spot hidden check as well while you're...
Sure thing. Hard success.
Hard success. Excellent. So you're looking down here, and you see there are some bits of Elder Cipher on the walls. Just throughout on the murals. And with your hard success, they're a little faded, like a little smoothed out, as if this area had maybe more moving water in it than some of the other areas, despite it being in a basement, which is weird to you, but ocean moves in weird ways sometimes. So you look and you see it looks to be kind of like a founding of this city kind of story. You see a lot of like the ocean, it looks like a lot of ocean floor, and then buildings start to become more and more prominent, like kind of one of those like medieval tapestry type things, where as you move along you see the progression of time. So you see just sea floor and then buildings being built, and then you see the tower, you see a small depiction of flying polyps attacking and being defeated, and then you see the world getting colder. You know it's the world getting colder because there's a lot of snowflakes and like ice crystals like embedded in that weird type of glass that these jars appear to be made out of. And then it looks like population receding and some buildings crumbling, and then it looks like the little depictions of the elder things going to sleep is the best you can term. They're like laying down and covered with dirt. It's like they're going to hibernation of sorts. But in the background of all this, you do see the volcano. It's ever present, and at times in the civilization, you see little lines of orange is the only way you can describe it. It's kind of like an amber colored glass at this point, though. You imagine it may have been orange at one point, but it's long faded. Going throughout the city as if it was a life force or a power grid. And you see that in the last picture, the grid turns to clear glass, as if it's been turned off for maintenance right before they went to sleep. And there's some dot texts that you could probably copy down to have translated
definitely.
later. Mm-hmm.
Wait, do I have?
Do you have any paper? Notebook?
I'll check my backpack. Notebook and pen, yes.
Notebook and pen. There you go.
Yes. So I will take some pages, and I believe I also have chalk.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
But I will definitely use a notebook and pen and jot down what I'm seeing, some
Sure.
notes of, in case I can't remember
A
exactly.
little quick sketch and some copy the
Yeah.
dots. Yeah.
Did not pack chalk, but yeah,
Okay.
I'll take the notes of try to roughly draw the depictions, and then I will grab the bottles and stuff them in my pockets /
Yeah,
pack.
one of them's like big.
What?
But
Ooh.
yeah, like one of those like, oh, I don't remember the brand name, but like the really cheap like $10 gallon of wine that you can get at the grocery store. One of them is that size.
Ooh.
And then the other ones would be
Is it something I could
more
easily...
like there's like three that are this size and one that's the gallon size.
Is it something I could easily like take out? Well, not easily, but like feasibly take out with me, or
You could take out the gallon one. It's up to you how you try to hide it. But you could fit the other 3 in your backpack. And you hear up from up above you, Parker, oh my God, did you die? Where did you go? Oh no, I've lost him. Oh no, I hope he didn't wander off to the Shoggoth pits. Just like a quiet, furtive voice above your head.
if I try to take these back with me, I'll have to make a check to see if I can hide them successfully, right?
The 3 smaller ones you will not, because they will fit in your backpack, and no one sees you putting them in here about there. But the big one will not fit in your backpack unless you took everything else out of your backpack.
There's a lot of useful stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Now, Brenda could try to help you smuggle something out if you really wanted to,
That is true.
because you guys have a wheelbarrow between the 2 of you. You might be able to try to.
Yeah, Brenda, sorry. Down here.
Oh, thank God, you're not a ghost haunting me. Okay, and you see her poke her head over. It's like, wow, I'm glad you didn't fall all the way through. Goodness, that'd hurt.
Yeah. Weird ass room. Sorry, could you come back to me? I'm trying to formulate a plan.
Oh, sure. I'll wait right here. Let me get the wheelbarrow. And we come back over to the forge. Irina, you've assembled some things pretty well, and Teddy, you're getting a little tired. This is different muscles than manual labor, which you've been doing, and that was making you kind of tired. So you guys, as per usual, you get off a little earlier than the manual labor crew as well, just because you're a higher skilled worker. You finished up your shift here at the lava forges. Irina having successfully sabotaged some things and are being escorted back to the human enrichment zone.
I think,
Where you didn't have the place to yourselves, kind of.
yeah. Probably after we're like, weird alien McBoober isn't listening to us. Yeah, that's the best way I can describe them, okay?
So, yes, weird alien McBoober is not present.
I know they're
been
called
dropped off.
I know they're called elder things, and that's probably easier to call them, but sometimes.
Sometimes you just got a weird alien McBoober. Yeah, I get
Yes. Yeah, so when the elder things are out of earshot, just like, so what do you think of the forge? You alright?
Fine. I mean, honestly, it was a little easier just using my muscles.
Well, I still have some tiger balm. Want me to help you with that? It'll stink up this entire ship, but honestly, this place smells like rotten fish, so it's be an improvement.
I was like, I don't know if that would make things worse or better. So, let's go for it.
Yeah, and hopefully I'll help you 8 class. Here, turn around. Alright, gonna basically get on the tiger bomb and make sure I don't wipe my eyes afterwards.
No,
I've made that mistake before.
yes, it is the worst. It is, well, it's awful. I wouldn't say it's the absolute worst.
I was saying, I don't know if it's the worst.
Yeah, I've had some stuff
Speaking
on
of
my
worse,
eyes.
I think Irina's probably like almost like as she's doing this, she's like, when I was a kid, I think my brother tried to use this, and then afterwards went to the bathroom.
Oh no! Oh
Just
no!
As there's like a grid on her mouth. You probably can't see it. She's like, memories.
Teddy's like that poor child.
It's alright, he grew up to be a doctor. Everything's fine with him. He had many kids. Everything was in working order.
I guess that's like living the dream, right?
Guess so. He's a decent guy.
What's living the dream for you?
I've lived my dream.
Well, that's not it. You're still living, so there has to be another dream.
I mean, Park and I were talking about asking you if we live to maybe help us exercise more, because both of us realized how not fit we are.
That's easy. So
Maybe that could be a start.
I don't think about exercising. It's just kind of something I do because I've been doing it so long. Like, I don't know, people eat, sleep, drink, whatever. I exercise because that's what you do. Now, the problem is you box a heavyweight. Keeping on weight actually becomes a problem depending on your metabolism. Now that I'm a little older and beat up, it's not as bad. But I used to have to, like, eat so much food. Why do you think I keep these rations in my backpack? I hate these things. They're gross.
Better than snail.
Yeah, the snails. I mean, that soup looking stuff they had. Oh.
Real talk. The egg omelet or the snails?
The egg omelet. What egg omelet?
The eggs from those stupid meal packs. The ones that bounce.
Oh. Ooh. You're probably the snail. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Did you pack any of the egg ones, by the way? She's just like,
No.
Oh, okay, thank.
Why would I do that? I love myself. I feel like if you can do better, then you probably should.
Yeah, that is fair.
That includes nutrition. Now, right now, we're in a shit situation when it comes to that, but
when I'm in New York, all I really buy is takeout.
Oh no.
And pretzels. That's all I do.
Oh no.
Yeah. But there's good places to eat there too, but all the good stuff I usually have are in San Francisco. What about you?
All right, I'll be honest with you. When I'm trying to put on weight, it's basically just plain pasta and baked chicken and some broccoli. And I just eat a boatload of it.
No
It's not very good. You don't think about it, you just eat. So enjoying food is not really something I think about that much either. I can cook, I just don't.
Yep, same. My mother makes really mean pickles, and I don't do it.
All right.
Oh.
Well, there's a new goal. We'll cook.
All right.
I don't know if it's a dream, but it is a goal.
I'll take it.
But seriously, you seriously don't have another dream? Like, if I get out of here, honestly, this is gonna sound real weird to you. So just ride with me on this one. Being that I've seen all this weird shit, I kind of want to see what other weird shit's out there.
You'd like this cult that I might have tweaked the organ of in Oregon, actually.
Wait, did you say what? A cult that you tweaked an organ of?
Yeah.
Like the.
Yeah, I mean, before I started working Wintercroft, right, I did sound tech stuff, but also I did piano tuning, organ tuning across the country, sometimes outside of it.
Well, I did have to get some clarification on organs versus organs.
Oh, organ.
Yeah.
I'm not the doctor in my family. I'm sure my brother's tweaked with some organs, but...
I mean, you don't necessarily have to be a doctor to tweak some organs.
That is true. That girl I met, the murderer I met in Korea did definitely tweak with some organs.
I said that with a nod and the wink. You know what? Never mind.
She holds her head. Huh? I mean, if you want to, we can. We have time.
After the tiger balm, though?
I'll go wash my hands.
And hands are washed as we fade back to the manual labor crew.
I am finishing up removing the last of the stuff in my pack. If
Okay.
we need man-made stuff, we can scavenge in all the ships if we really need it. But this jar, if it's like a 10-gallon thing and it's been kept here and it's sealed,
Sealed.
it has
Jars
to
are
be.
sealed.
It probably has some use, and there's probably nothing else like it. So, resource-wise, it's unique, which makes it important.
I was just sitting there thinking how funny it would be if it was just like, this is 10,000-year-old olive oil. It's gone rancid.
Yeah, cooking oil. It's like, you know, it's not the first time Parker's made a bad trade. He'll take the hits with the misses.
That's fair. That's fair. It's not 10,000-year-old olive oil, by the way. I just wanted to throw that out there. The elder
It's
things don't
tweaked
use-
organs.
They don't use olive oil. It could be tweaked organs. Not gonna say it's not, but it is not olive oil.
So I'll leave my stuff here in a small pile out
Okay.
of sight. I'm going to hope that this part of the area doesn't cave in later in case we do need something from my pack. And I will put the large cask of whatever it is in my pack
I got some.
in a
I
way
got some.
that'll make it...
I got some cargo pocket space. If you have anything smaller, you want me to carry?
I toss her... Let's see. Just stuff that's useful. I'll toss her... How many small items do I get?
She's got like 3 cargo pockets, so you can give her like a medium item and like 4 small.
Okay.
Unless they're like tiny. Like if it's a paperclip, you don't get just 1 paperclip. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Enough to fit up 4 cargo pants pockets.
Yeah, I'll give her... Oh. If I don't have to count my notebook and pen,
Yeah, you get pockets. You can put...
I'll give her my salt shaker, which
Okay.
is my last prize item for trading because salt's
Yes.
great.
Yep.
My duct tape. I'll give her, if this can fit her in her medium pocket, the portable stove. It's a good source of fire
Ooh.
and heat.
She probably have the canister. I don't think she can have the whole stove.
I see. In that case,
Unless it's one of those really small camping ones.
it was supposed to be a camping stove.
Okay,
since
if
I
it's
was carrying it around.
like the single like can or
yeah,
like
like
cup
a
of
little
coffee.
Bunsen burner.
Yeah, and then she could barely fit that one in her pockets, but she could fit it in her pockets.
And the last one will be... we'll just do the matches in a waterproof case.
That's a great idea.
Cool. Always good to have a fire source.
Yep. I'll put some stuff. All right, let me help you out of here. She like bends over to try to get, because there's no ladders, so
Yeah.
you gotta get 12 feet up.
Yeah.
You can step on. You can like pile up some rubble, a couple bigger rocks to stand up on, and she'll help pull you out. Brenda's surprisingly strong.
Ankle. Oh, thanks. Definitely need the help with this bum ankle I got.
Yeah, no problem at all. Hope whatever you found is useful for your craft.
Yeah, I'll take it back and we can, I got some folks in my crew. He stops when he says my crew. Huh, weird. I got some folks I know that are a little more familiar with this kind of stuff. Maybe they can look it over and figure out what the heck it is.
Sure.
So I have an expert, so to speak, and I think of a small gray blob that I've never seen before.
Oh, Goop. Yeah, I met Goop.
You met Goop?
Yeah, charming fella.
Is he cute as everyone says he is?
Adorable. Little
Oh,
just
I
big
am
old
missing
puppy
out.
eyes.
Well, if the days get harder, maybe I'll get to see him. So,
Yeah. Touching weird stuff is a great way to kind of go insane here. So maybe that would, I don't know if you're trying to fast track it.
I give her a look that's like wondering if her optimism doesn't come from a genuine place. It comes from a little more of an unhinged place.
You can
Okay.
give me a psychology check if you wanted to truly see.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Why not?
Hey, hard success.
She has the optimism is her own. However, you get the feeling that she's seen some things, and she's seen some people seek out some stuff to try to end it faster. without having to do it themselves, kind of thing. Or some people who just got too curious and went a little.
I wonder if
So-
Wash was one of those people.
Yeah, maybe. But she hasn't done it herself. You get the feeling she's touched a couple weird things, but not intentionally. But she's definitely seen it a fair bit since being down here.
Put a hand on the shoulder, smile through the darkness.
That's all you can do. Right, let's move this wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
Yep. There we go. Your backpack's a little heavier because now it's full of 2 weird glass containers of liquid, or multiple glass containers of liquid. But you're finished the rest of your labor shift, and before you know it, it's about dinner time, and you're able to head back to the Chum Guzzler.
I slosh my way over there.
Yep. Brenda, since she is cycled out with somebody, she's also heading towards the boats, but she's gonna be on the boat she was on beforehand. So, like, all right, if you need anything, I'm gonna be over there at the. Let me find her boat name. One moment. Scroll up. Control F Chum. There we go. I have a lot of notes. Control F Chum. There's only a couple instances of Chum Guzzler on here. I'm on the Water Wonderland.
Ah, I'm at the unfortunately named Chum Guzzler.
Oh, now that one was funny. I thought that one was great.
It is until you like slip the tongue, then it's embarrassing.
I suppose that's true, but that's part of what makes it funny.
All right. Well, thanks for the help today. And
No problem. I'll see you tomorrow on the workforce.
absolutely.
All right. And she marches off, go to the Water Wonderland and get some snail soup later. And you are able to get to the Chum Guzzler without any problems.
All right. I'll take a load off and kind of try to massage my twisted ankle.
Yeah. Irina and Teddy, you hear Parker approaching the Chum Guzzler. You have had time to do whatever it is that you wish to do. It's like you guys get off 2 hours before the maintenance crew does, or the manual labor crew does. So you have some time to yourselves. Then Parker comes in,
Probably just studying the gun again.
studying the gun.
Mhm.
That's a good plan. Why don't y'all give me study, library use, or intelligence checks,
You got it, dude.
or education? I take education.
Okay.
Oh,
Which one of these is best for me
or
now?
library use. I'm gonna take library use because I'm not very educated.
Sure. Roll me library use.
Damn it.
Yeah, this one's getting harder. You've been going through the Yithian. I try to like cross-reference, and you're getting to some complicated stuff.
You said library use, education, or
Or
intelligence?
intelligence. Yep.
I can do that one.
All right, you keep
Glad I
studying.
did that one.
You keep studying the lightning gun, and you're able to get a bit more of a handle on how to use it. You can add 3 to your lightning gun proficiency.
All right. I'm still not good at it, but I'm getting better.
You're getting better. And that's when Parker, you come in and they're both studying.
Honey, I'm home.
And it smells like Tiger's Balm in here.
Oh, someone pulled out the tiger's bomb? Can I borrow some of that? I busted my ankle up at work.
How'd you bust your ankle up, bruh?
I almost fell into a hole that I then willingly jumped into.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so long story short, I took a gamble and I'm really hoping it pays off. And then I just start pulling out all the shit I took from the room. The bottles, the giant, like, barrel-ish bottle.
Wow.
This looks important, right? It was in a room. I had to sneak it out, so I'm assuming it's something that might be helpful. I'm really hoping it's not 1,000-year-old olive oil, which, honestly, I'm starting to wonder if it is.
I'm gonna first look behind Parker. Make sure he's alone. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
nice job on Bobby Maying.
What?
Bobby Maid. She points at like the hall. You jumped in a hole and found cool stuff.
Oh yeah, I guess I did pull a Bobby May.
It's
You know
true.
what? Last time I said that though, I got in trouble, so I'm trying to be nicer.
That's
ironic.
also true.
It's a good
Can we
thing,
just? Can I
though.
just say honestly, she still sometimes scares me, like legitimately, like a respectful fear. You know, like you don't want to get too.
No, Bobby May would break you.
Yeah, exactly, and she'd do it easily too. Fuck.
That's not a knock against you. I'm just saying.
Oh no, not at all. I know what I'm made of, and it is not the Cerner stuff. Why do you think I like talking with people? It's easier to work what I want into conversations rather through physical gestures. But yes, here's some random shit. And I pull out like you said, were there 3 or 4?
3 small ones, 1 big one.
3 small bottles, 1 big bottle, context, and then I fill them in about the room and like the mural. So there might be a larger scale way of like fighting these things. The glyphs, the mural, it seemed to depict that if it's cold enough, these things will hibernate. And the
Makes
place we're in,
sense.
this quote-unquote city, is actually being powered by something. And if that power goes away, and I kind of like show my little doodles, it will get freezing. And these things will slow and eventually go to sleep.
Speaking
I-
of which, Parker, I forgot to make you have a sanity check for looking at those murals and studying
Oh, that's
them.
all
Could
right. We don't
Could
have
I
to.
get one of those from
Oh
you?
no, you're fine. You're fine.
You're talking about them, just come back to mind.
You know what? I'll take a rain check. Oh, success.
Here, you only lose 1.
Ah, man, I'm just tiptoeing my way to goop.
Just tiptoeing.
Edging.
I mean, if you want to fail, I can have you fail.
Nah,
Do you want to
we'll
roll another
roll for it.
sanity check? You did see someone get squished a little bit.
I did technically. Sure, I'll roll for
Sure,
that too.
roll again. There you go.
that time
Oh,
I
there you
failed.
go. Let's roll you.
Saw a man die.
Yep,
Man, errand or woman, be squished.
3. There you go.
Okay, almost there, not quite.
Not quite.
Just
We're
gotta start
getting there.
touching where random stuff like that.
More random stuff. Gotta get 4 more.
You
Speed
don't
run into goop.
suppose
Speedrun group,
that
90%.
Speed
the
run
volcano.
goop.
Sorry, what was that, Arena?
You don't suppose it's a volcano, do you?
Well, the volcano, I think, is what's warming this place up, honestly, maybe.
Okay, but it's not the core, the thing that powers it and keeps it warm. I thought.
Did it
thought-
look like a volcano in the mural, or was it like a power source?
It was like the volcano had like a network of tubes coming from it.
You know, I think you're right. It is. I think
Like
it is
if the power
literally-
station was the volcano, it'd be all of the telephone poles with the power lines going throughout the city with the amber glass.
So how the fuck do we shut off a volcano?
It's a shame we didn't get dragged down here with a volcanologist or volcanist, whatever, Vulcan something.
Vulcanist.
That is
I
the
mean-
technical name for a.
Yeah,
it's not a
and-
volcanologist, it's a volcanist, and I was like, that's funny.
Yeah, and she's just like, look, she believes in climate change. That sounds weird enough. Come on, like, but she does know some actual science too.
I mean, yeah, I think that's a great idea. We should probably grab her during dinner, which is around now. But you
Soon.
guys okay on the forges? Make up for my mistakes?
Oh, I forgot to tell both of you. She just turns and there's another one of her mildly unhinged smiles. There's more of those these days. I might have accidentally not set up some of the assembly bits.
How
Oh,
did
that's
you
a-
manage that?
It happens to everyone. I mess up all the time.
Have you ever kind of pushed in a battery but not fully, or jammed together 2 pieces of a puzzle that don't really quite fit,
Sure.
but it
Mhm.
looks like they fit? Like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, so you made a weak point.
Maybe.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I'm with it. There's no issue here. Obviously, sabotage is what we're all about. I'm impressed.
Oh, and the Doc and Bobby May got into the tunnel successfully, so
Perfect.
they're hard at work. which kind of sucks because I twisted my ankle and I wish the doc was here.
Teddy or Irina could try a first aid check to give Parker a better rap.
Let me fuck your ankle up even worse.
Why are you grabbing that dagger? Stay away.
I have a 31 on my first day.
I have a 30.
Just imagine Teddy is like, just grabs her, like, relax, and just like.
Listen, I've taped my ankles before. It can't be that hard.
I'll probably be in the back going.
By ankles, I mean fist. I never tapped my ankles.
Yeah, they could kill me through a failed first aid check, right?
No, they can't kill you through a failed
Probably
first aid
can't
check.
unless let's try it. I'm happy to try if you want to try it as well.
Scream heard across the camp. Yeah, no, if you want to take a stab at it, just actually set that dagger,
Stab
please.
at it.
Hey!
You get 1 hit point back,
Oh my god.
How about that?
and you're on the track to healing.
Yeah, I think like probably like between like Teddy and Irina, like she manages to
You
do
pull out
sometimes,
your
like,
little first aid kit, you got your disinfectant, you got your Neosporin, you have some actual gauze, you wrap around the scratches, yeah.
Put a little tiger bomb.
Oh.
No. Yeah, I can
Not an
help
open
you
wound,
put some
fail.
tiger bomb on your
Oh, I didn't think it was
temples
an
if you
open
like.
wound.
I thought you
It's
cut yourself.
scratched.
I thought you
yeah,
scraped
you got some
yourself.
scrapes
Gotcha.
and
Right. I thought
yeah,
just, like,
rolled
twisted it
ankle and
bad.
scrape and yeah.
Yeah, I'll take a little on my temples here. It's a nice, refreshing effect.
Yeah.
Oh. So, any way you two could figure out what's in these bottles, or do we just have to kind of crack it open?
You also have the copy of the Elder Cipher if you wanted to try to see if that had any.
Ooh.
Ooh, Elder Cipher. I mean, shame Bob May's not here. She's actually better at the Elder Cipher.
You can
I
use a
started learning-
library use. She's starting to be able to read it without having to reference the
Ooh, very
materials.
My
She's got
backup
some
plan was just
actual
asking
speech.
Goop, but I don't know if any of us can see Goop, so.
You
No.
can't- none of y'all can see Goop.
Unfortunately, all of us are not of the inclination. So, let's have a crack at it.
Someone
Not
give me a
cracking the
library
bottle.
use. No,
I'm gonna try
I mean,
library
you
use
could.
this. I'm gonna spend a luck.
You're gonna spend 1 luck. That's
Hey.
valid.
1 luck,
That
just
is- you're-
one.
You're right there. I would have been surprised if you didn't. So you are going through and you see like his sketches with the words in place, and you get that this basement, wherever it was probably at some point either like someone's house or business that had something to do with the power system. Because it's kind of like how some fancy places will be like the history of our company, and they have like the different pictures of through time. You get those vibes from looking at this when you see the cipher of the beginning, founding of a new. It says it's like beginning, founding, city, and you're like looking through it. And you're like, oh my gosh, this reads so much like one of those like
I feel like I'm like with
museum
my ex
sections of a
again.
business. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is either someone's house or someone's business basement area, and there's a section that says power. You're something about the power grid, but it's not said power grid. It's got like it's not power, it's energy. Energy. There's a word. It looks. You don't have the translation for distribution, but it looks a lot like the word for sharing. So, like, energy sharing, and it's the section where he draws out the power grid, basically. And the next one says sleep. Energy down. Hibernate.
Okay. I think as I'm reading,
So they do have a way to manipulate the volcano, it would seem.
almost like they currently do for the magma forges.
They do, but on a grander scale of when you think about it, and those colored tubes throughout the floor, maybe that was at one point part of the power distribution system, but they've changed it a bit to be cordon off certain zones, which maybe they did in the past too, but maybe that's actually lava on the inside, and they're just tinting the colors, because they do glow.
I will word play this back to everybody else as I'm reading through this, just spitballing ideas. And after I'm done, I was like, oh wow, this was who knew aliens could be so corporate?
Wait,
Feel
so
like
this
I'm
stuff
back with my in-laws.
controls...
Excellent.
This stuff can control the lava.
Yep. Apparently.
Does it
Maybe
make
that.
it hotter or colder if we put it in, though?
Well, I'm no volcanologist, but if it
I
gets
don't know.
colder,
This is some. I don't know. If this is
gunk
something
up the
that
whole
a
system.
volcanologist-
And there's also, of course, the tubes that we're currently using to feed into that big tower to, power it up. There's options. And
Wait, but those tubes aren't connected to the system anymore. They've been rerouted to the tower, right?
They're growing new ones for the device.
they're growing new ones. It's like
They're growing new
Oh,
ones.
the thing sticking
Yeah.
out of the tower from
Mhm.
last time that was partially formed. I see. I see.
it's gotten this much higher now since last time you were there, Parker.
Oh, good.
Looks like it can be done in a day or two.
Yeah, about a day or two. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wait, so we have one big barrel and 3 small bottles.
Mm-hmm.
What do they all do? I'm assuming they all look different from each other.
The smaller bottles, they're all kind of like made of a weird glass, crystal, some type of somewhat transparent-ish, translucent, because you see that there is a liquid inside, but it's hard to tell what that liquid is. They all have like a bluish greenish tint to it. Like one of those pieces of glass that is iridescent almost, so it changes colors depending on the light a little bit. It doesn't seem to be color coded.
Does the bottle seem breakable or has like a stopper I can pull out?
There is a stopper that could be pulled out.
But does it seem breakable? Like if I threw
It
on
does
the
seem
ground?
breakable. It seems like it's sturdy but breakable. Like if you dropping it accidentally probably wouldn't break it, but smashing it into the ground, especially on a pointed object rather than like a flat surface, would break it.
That would do it.
I do have an appointment, a date later today, to the submarine behind the lava flows. Are the 3 small bottles like identical-ish? Like they seem to have the same stuff?
Mm-hmm.
I could take one of the small
Well,
bottles.
as far as you can tell, you haven't opened them all yet.
Right,
No.
right. I could take one of the small bottles. If we assume that there's the same thing inside each of them, I could try to pour discreetly in the lava and see what happens.
You're gonna try to sneak this bottle into the Titan Uranus, basically. Got it.
Yeah, I'll just shove it down my pants. He won't know the difference.
You know what? I'll just leave that one alone.
Snow's dead. Sometimes you
think it's
gotta
a good
sneak a bottle
idea?
into the Titan Uranus. At least, it's got a flared base.
I held a straight face for a while. I had to bring it back. I was okay. I had it all together. I held a straight face.
I had it until you talked about hiding in your pants.
That's when it got me too.
The next sessions, it's the first 2 hours is me narrating just the romantic trysts I'm having with this guy in the submarine.
Yep.
But what do you think about opening the bottles to just check, or do you think that would that tamper the seal and ruin them? I'm kind of scared too, but because we got 4 things here, 1 and 3. The 3 might not even be the same, and this is all we have. If we ruin this, then we don't have it anymore.
So, when decisions are hard, we can always bring in an expert and blame them if anything goes wrong.
Where's Goop?
With Bobby May. He's become her official support oil slick.
Y'all could have had Goop with you if you would wish today, because
Ooh. Did she leave him behind?
Can anyone see Goop though?
you can't. None of y'all can see
none of us
Goop.
can talk
Or
to
something weird we can touch?
Or something weird we can touch.
This just keeps going, doesn't it?
I mean, we could probably bring in any of the
Sure,
other
you'll
people
find
who've
something
been
weird
here
you
for
can
a
touch on
while.
your date.
They can hear him.
That is true. I don't like relying on someone outside of our immediate group, but we might have to in this
Yeah.
regard. I was working with Brenda. Teddy, do you remember Brenda? Overly cheerful.
She was in the tunnels yesterday.
Yeah, I understand that.
You know, I realize in the time that we've been here, you guys have met a lot of people. I'm really glad I'm not the one that's talking. Thank you for your sacrifice.
It's what I'm good at.
You hear some footsteps approach the boat, and then you hear the... which you know is the underground secret knock.
Dot, 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 dot,
Dot. Enter.
Oh, hi, it's me. Parker, Teddy. I don't think we've met yet. Hi, I'm Brenda. I just wanted to let you know I got an update from some people who swapped out from the tunnel. It seems that they finished the site below the device, and that your friends Bobby May and Bronwyn managed to get into the archives. They're gonna be researching there all night. Swap out with them tomorrow so that they can tell you about everything they found.
Thanks for the update, Brenda.
Thank you.
Just wanted to let y'all know. Can I get you anything? I mean, dinner's
Do you
coming
see
soon.
Goop around here somewhere?
Goop? I could get him. Talk to him.
Sorry, I might be misremembering. Does Goop know about this kind of stuff?
Usually he
At the
seems
end?
to have weird information.
He might not. It depends. Depends on the info.
I'm pretty sure Goop is one of these space alien things.
So he might know, he might not know.
Okay.
Yeah.
That he's one of these space alien things? I think he doesn't know, or he's been brainwashed, or he's brainwashing us.
I think he's young.
He's a young
Yeah.
guy. Hasn't seen the world.
Just a little blob.
Just a little guy.
What do you guys think? Is it worth the trouble? I mean, I'm just kind of playing to our outs here. Any scrap of info we can get seems to be helpful, since we only have limited shots of these things.
Brenda, was it?
Yeah, that's me.
Hi.
Brenda.
My
Brenda Buckley.
name's Irina.
Nice to meet you, Irina.
Charmed. Can you help us get Goop from Bobby May? Tell her it's urgent.
Yeah, it's about swapping time for shifts, so I can have someone who's about to go on shift grab Goop. Bring him back.
That would be great. And I just look at Parker's like, do you want her to stay? Because none of us can hear.
If you could grab Goop specifically.
Well, I'm not going on shift, so I can have someone hand Goop off to me. One of the other underground members, of course. It's It's Peggy's turn. Peggy and Diego. I can have Diego. Diego's more reliable than Peggy. I can ask Diego to bring Goop.
Well, we'll return him soon. Just let Bob May know that, because just thinking about the idea of Bobby May being goopless for an extended period of time.
Sparrow.
We won't kill your character while you're gone, but we'll take your Goop.
We'll
Yeah,
take
that-
your Goop.
And
We'll
you
borrow
can't
your
stop us.
Goop.
Yeah,
She's
then
gonna be in
she'll
an
kill
archive
us
all
when
night
she's
reading
back.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great, Brenda.
All right,
Thank
I'll
you.
ask Diego. She goes off. It'll probably be a bit before you get Goop, but Goop will come before bedtime.
Cool.
And before you know it, it's dinner time. The soup is brought out. It's more of a stew at dinner time. It's a little less runny than the soup, a little thicker than the porridge. And you see your volcanologist, Dr. Renee Nelson, help and serve.
Do we ask her as well, or
Ask her.
about the stuff? As
The
I'm
less
concerned, she doesn't know more, does she?
The less people that know about it, the better, in my opinion. A secret's only a secret if the minimum number of people know about it.
True, but she's a volcanist, and she would probably just immediately explode into her rants about volcanoes if we asked her, how could you possibly cool a volcano?
Yeah, I'd probably like
In theory.
zone out probably 1 to 3 sentences in there.
I zone out too.
But I believe
pretty
that one of y'all would pay enough attention to put it together.
I just look at Parker with hope in my eyes.
I mean,
it's a dead hope in my eyes.
There's some stuff that I'm very interested in, but volcanoes are not exactly one of them. And I'll be trying. I was trying.
I look at both of you, tired, defeated. Maybe you two should go like on a date while I'm on a date. Just like take the night off or something. I mean, I'm gonna be gone for a while, and Bobby May and the doc are gonna be busy. You guys got the ship to yourselves. You know what? I think it's a good idea though, Irina. Let's bring our other doc in on this. It might just be magic or advanced science that's like magic, and it might blow her world, but at least she'll see something cool before we all possibly die.
She is a volcano nerd.
Can I go fetch the doctor and bring her to the privacy of
Yes, you'll have to wait till she's done serving dinner, but that 30 minutes, you can bring her to the Chum Guzzler.
Yes.
Doctor, yip.
Hi.
Yes.
Yes.
Welcome to our unfortunately named ship.
Oh, it's I've seen worse. She says with a look on her face that says she has not seen a worse ship name, but she's trying to be polite. She
Not
boards the
bad.
Chum Guzzler.
Doc, you believe in magic?
No, everything has a scientific explanation, but some science is so advanced people think it's like magic,
I'm hoping that holds true here.
right?
We have some stuff we're working on, and we could really use a volcanologist's ear.
Well, that is my specialty. That and climate. So,
I will kind of like getting the approval of the other two. I will go into the whole. I will let her know at least the secret room I found, the murals I found.
yeah, about the
and
power grid
mysterious
volcano. She
liquids, yes.
looks at the pictures. She goes, "Oh my goodness! I wonder if I could get transferred to manual labor for a day just so I could study these."
It's
this
a
is
bit of a drop, and
oh my goodness! All right. She's gonna make an intelligence check. You said there was. Did you tell her about the liquid?
yes, I did show her the 3 liquids.
I
and
recommend
the
us
larger jar.
opening one of them, at least one of them first, in a safe manner with the proper appropriate safety gear on, and probably taking some samples to see exactly what this is.
Can you take some
Safety
samples?
gear.
Did you have your kit on you when you
I
came down here?
did have my scientific gear with me because you said, well, it was a concert that it was about eco stuff, and so I thought maybe I could take some readings if we got close enough to the volcano again.
I did emphasize the environmental part of the concert. That's right.
You did.
Hey, lies come in hand. Lie more,
So,
folks. That's
I
the
did
moral
bring
here.
some of my base testing equipment.
Oh, that's pretty helpful.
Big smile on my face. All right. I'm assuming we shouldn't do this in the room we all sit at.
No.
Just in case it's, explodes.
One of the empty ships, that would be great to open it up on.
I probably, from going through the camp, I would know. Like,
You
if
would
there's
know a
nearby
good empty one.
shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, follow me.
Probably go into what, like the fishing hold of one of these ships, where like, the fish would have been, just because it's got thicker walls. It's
Do we need
it's
anything
easier.
else, like heat or... I was going to say test tube. I don't think we have any of those down here.
I have some of those. So
You
when
are
she like
prepared.
pulls out like a little travel sized like thing, she's got some equipment. She has a teddy sized backpack. But it's all science nerd stuff. There's no rations. There is none of that. It's all testing equipment. And she's going
Grab a
to
bottle.
give, put the appropriate goggles. If y'all could just stay back by the stairs. I don't know how volatile this compound is, or if it's any good anymore still, because you said who knows how long it's been down here. So, goggles, respirator, gloves, puts on like a plastic front cover. She very carefully undoes the seal. It's like a waxy substance. When she pulls it off, it's very stringy, like fresh mozzarella cheese, which is a weird thing to see from something that looked pretty waxy, but she peels it off.
Did it look similar to the weird stuff that they use for first aid?
A little bit.
That's weird. Thank
A
you.
little
Just-
bit. Yeah.
I'm staying nice and far away while watching ooh.
And once
That
she gets
reminds me
that
of a good
seal
pizza.
off, you see that it's pretty much a simple, hinge cork mechanism, with a rubberish substance rather than the actual cork material, and she pops it, and you hear a kss, and you see some puff of white go into the air. Like steam or smoke or dry ice. It's slow and wafting. And she very carefully looks in it. And she goes back, and then she very carefully agitates the bottle ever so slightly. Waits a moment. Agitates it a little bit more. Gives a sigh of relief. Waits a moment, and then she'll pick out like a little pipette. She'll take out some of the liquid, and she'll put it in a few vials. And then she puts the lid back on, and she pulls out, again, a couple drops onto a little slide, and she pulls out like a small, like, porta magnifying microscope. She looks at it, and she goes, oh, interesting. She rolled a 20. This is a bizarre, I've never, she's not Southern, she's not Becky. This is just quite bizarre. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this. It has certain properties similar to volcanic rock. Not quite. Interesting. The bottle itself does not appear volatile. Based on the sketches you showed me, this might be some of how they use the chemicals that they use to. You mentioned the lava forges. They use a chemical process to modify the heat there. These might be some of the chemicals that they use to alter the temperature of the lava coming in on the outflow.
Do you know if it would have a dampening effect or a heightening effect?
That is the question. I will need to run some tests. Could I, if you don't mind, I would like to check to verify if all the bottles have the same liquid in them.
Breaking the seal won't, like, ruin the sample or anything?
So far, they don't appear to be degrading in the air. If it is an air degrading effect, it will take quite some time. They haven't deteriorated in these few moments that I've been studying.
Well, we got 2 more small bottles, and we got the big one.
And she also does, like, the thing of shining the light behind the bottles. You know, to see.
But yeah, help yourself. I have knowledge is power.
All right. Gonna be busy tonight. She's gonna do some more tests. Still within her science range.
Ooh.
Science range. Science range. She is able to look at all 4 bottles. It takes her about 15 minutes per of doing the same very careful process to make sure nothing explodes in her face. And she determines that the 3 little bottles are one chemical and the big bottle is a different chemical. But none of them appear volatile. At least yet. She's going to try adding some heat to some of them in a bit. She wants to experiment with the samples. She's got like 3 vials from each bottle, each vial being about this big. So you still have plenty of liquid left in each one, but she will run some tests. She's gonna pull an all-nighter and run some tests on these for y'all. As best as she can down here with her limited equipment. If you could bring me some volcanic rocks, that would be fabulous. I don't want to have to leave.
Volcanic rocks?
Yes, I mean, after all, volcanic rocks are just cooled lava, so it have similar chemical composition, in a sense.
Can we take volcanic rocks from the forges?
Yeah, there's some just laying around. You're undersea, right by a volcano. You can chip some up from a bigger rock or pebbles lying around. Most of the pebbles here are volcanic rocks. Like going to a volcanic beach, they're kind of just scattered throughout everywhere.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, is it most of the rock around here?
Most of the rock here is volcanic
Yeah.
rock, but she's just in the hold right now. The ship and she doesn't want to leave the
do you
test.
dock?
Just a couple handfuls.
Well, I got a couple of hands. I'll be right back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And she's like very careful, like weighing the liquids and like just. She doesn't want to leave her work, basically. She's like, if you could just give me this one last thing, I can hold myself up in here for a while.
All right.
You've given the volcanologist toys.
Really happy we decided that the volcanologist was partially expendable.
Yeah, that's a
glad.
decent decision you made.
Yes.
Much more valuable scientifically than Heather.
But we missed the reuniting of the lovers.
There's still time
I mean-
if you escape. Maybe.
I mean,
Depending.
regardless, she gets to live, so
It's true.
worst
Okay,
case scenario, she gets cancer.
I mean, I have to go on a date.
All right.
I don't know if it's safer to leave her down here alone where no one would think to look for her, or if you guys want to, like, watch the front door, so to speak.
You can probably stay with her. What do you think,
Okay.
Teddy? You can bring
Yeah.
her. Yeah. We have backpacks. We can bring her a little manual read.
Yeah, we're all good.
Yeah. Right. Rocks time.
All right, I guess I'll go freshen up.
All right. So you bring her a couple handfuls of rocks. She's very happy. She gets right to running some more tests. Has you fetch like a couple more things. Like if you could bring me, you said you found some gasoline. Or I could have some of that. She's like going full mad scientist mode on these samples you've given her.
How do we smuggle gasoline there?
Oh,
How
it's
does
all
the
it's
room-
all in the human.
I mean, this is the
enclosure.
human enclosure, so
Yeah.
I don't think they care.
They don't. Bring over some gasoline.
All right. I think we'll babysit the doctor. Have a
Babysit the
nice
doctor.
date.
Yeah. She's just gonna mutter herself, take a bajillion notes, and play with the stuff. Well, Parker, your date, he's there. As you're walking back to the chum guzzler to freshen up, you see Brenda, because it has been about an hour by this point. She's like, hot goop.
Oh, yes.
Hence the alcohol
Goop.
bottle.
Oh, thank you. Hi, Goop. If you're talking right now, I still can't hear or see you.
He says that's all right. He understands.
Goop, are you familiar with the heat control systems down here, like the volcano and all that jazz?
Uh-huh. Goop says that, he knows that it's a thing, but, I mean, he hasn't studied it or nothing. He'll think real hard on it.
Okay. Can you pass on?
Oh,
You're not.
he
You're
says
not
if
going.
you have specific information, he could, if we bring him back to Bob and May and Dr. Bronwyn, he can, look for some stuff in their archives. Said they're pretty extensive down there.
That sounds perfect.
Right.
I will communicate what I want Goopton to pass on to the doc and
Yep.
Bobby May.
Goop
Our
will do so.
discoveries. Yes, and that we're working with our other doc. I call them both doc. I should really.
They're
find a better
both,
name.
I mean, technically they both have doctorates.
Yeah, I want to be respectful. That's why I call them doc. But yeah, I'll use Goop to pass that information along.
Sure, I'll make sure he gets back. And she goes back to smuggling, and you're able to freshen up as best you can down here on the Chump Guzzler. How do you freshen up? Brush through your hair?
Oh, just wash a little bit, wear my least filthy clothes.
Yeah.
I mean, I left most of my stuff back in the
You did.
hole, so.
Maybe you can get it tomorrow now that your backpack's empty.
Yeah, true. I guess I'm still working manual labor tomorrow.
You still are working manual labor tomorrow.
I'm
And-
thinking about the room and how it looked like it was flooded.
Mm-hmm. This whole
And-
place was flooded at one point.
Yeah. I'm wondering, does that mean wherever they stashed the submarine, it might be able to navigate to where we needed to, like underwater? Like, is there like a cavern or something that we can't see underneath us?
You don't know. That's a great question.
But yeah, I'll wait for my date.
And it's not too long. Man, I should have prepared some like super gushy romance music. Can we have creepy Yithian music? There we go. It's not long before your date shows up. Kenneth Boyles.
Kenneth!
Parker. Hello, yes, I've brought the ritual Bobby May asked for.
Oh, that's great. I can just accept that for her, and I can stow it in her stuff.
She probably would have left you the crystal to exchange if
Right. If she knew
'cause
she'd be gone
if
all
she
day.
knew she'd be gone all day. Yeah.
And I've been trusted with this.
Wonderful. Excellent trade. And he hands you very neatly a few pieces of paper, very neatly, with some very complicated looking sigils on there.
I grab an away where our fingers brush against each other.
Again, he has the look on his face of like, I'm so confused. I don't know what's happening. But, okay. Again, the Yithian at conflict with the human body that it's in. Because it's under the effects of a love spell. Happens. So, do you wanted to go do the Titan Uranus?
Yes, I would love to visit the Titan Uranus.
Wonderful.
And I guess I just also wanted to kind of chat and walk with you here.
Sure, I've packed us I think you've got a picnic?
Oh!
It's not snail and seaweed, so...
I will go inside and get my picnic basket. Thematically appropriate.
Yep.
And the picnic blanket, which I guess I still have on me. Oh, no, wait. Never mind, I left it...
Oh,
I guess
at the
I left those
hotel,
in
at the
backpack.
hotel, yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay, he has one.
Oh, perfect.
We can have, we can eat on the Titan Uranus.
Mhm. Kenneth, I guess
Yes, Parker.
part of me is confused.
Understandable. What,
So
what
you're not-
specifically?
You're not particularly vested with what the great old ones are doing down here. You're just kind of allies.
Not particularly. Just neutral parties. Like,
So whether they succeed or they fail, or people escape or they don't.
it does not matter to the great race of Youth, correct?
So this is just kind of like vacation for you, or do you have a goal here?
My goal is to get back. I am, not quite overdue, but soon I will be due to, return to Yev. My contract will be up. My
Missing
period
home?
of inhabitation of this body will be over.
It's just like a contract though. There's nothing like, you're not going to get sick, are you?
Oh, no. I won't get, I'll be perfectly fine.
Not as pleasant as being in your own body though, I'm assuming. A little.
That's complicated to say. Yithians are quite accustomed to... I mean, humans aren't the only things we can mind swap with, you see. Any creature has the potential, so... We're quite accustomed to being in not our original forms, say.
I see.
In fact, most Yithians aren't in their original forms.
I guess I'll just mull over that as we kind of make our way to the submarine.
Yeah, and he is happy to escort you to the Titan Uranus, which is on the other side of the lava forges, tucked in behind some of the areas, not right up against the volcano. It's a bit more into the, there's like a secondary area of rubble that's been cleared. Like they wanted to set up more forges, but then they got the submarine instead, and they're like, let's just put this here and disassemble and reassemble it. You see there's a bunch of spare parts of, it looks like maybe old parts that they tried to use for the device that didn't work, but they're in like a corner of this like cleared out little plaza. Looks like what used to be maybe a fountain in the center of it, but it's long since crumbled in parts and it's no longer functional, but it bears a vague resemblance to a fountain. And you see, with bright colored black letters on the side of a 4-person submersible, the Titan Uranus. Pleasantly dry docked. Near the edge of the dome.
So they took this thing apart and put it back together.
Yeah, so they said. Yes.
You said dry docked, so it's like on land?
It's like on the edge of the dome, not too far, but it's on like pieces of rubble, so it's not like tilted. The submarines are very round on the bottom at times, or they're shaped like a boat, so it wouldn't sit upright if it wasn't rested on something. So it's the equivalent of having a dry dock.
According to how I know the spell works, if it's used on a ship, it just forms like a protective bubble on the top side of the ship, correct?
Correct.
So as long as the ship remains intact to the surface, the
Mhm.
ship can then function as normal.
Should be. You've not tried using the ship's power systems or steering it underwater, but theoretically.
True. Okay.
Theoretically, yes.
I wouldn't normally be around here, allowed around here, would I?
No, not normally.
Well-
But again, I'm on good terms with the Elder Things for now, and so, should have expressed curiosity in the submarine here. And it is the latest tech from MIT, I believe, at this time. Yes, at this time.
Smile and nod. Well, since you are my guide and my host, would you let me into Titan Uranus?
Certainly, it's a tight fit, but there's only 2 of us, so, shouldn't be too cramped.
I think we'll make it work.
Fairly comfortable. And he calls into this little 4-person sub. And Snow dying repeatedly is bringing me life. No regrets when choosing the names for the boats and the submarines. None. Titan Oceanus and the Titan Uranus. So, he descends down the little ladder first, doop, 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 and you follow after, and you see that it is very small. There are 4 chairs in here. One is the pilot's chair. You assume that's washes. Not any space in front of that, really, except to get in and get out. The other 3 have a little bit more space. Like, you could fit a 5th with standing room only. But that would be it. And it would not be very comfortable. And then you'd also have to do calculations for air and stuff. But at the moment, you see there's another chair kind of in the back by some controls. There's a chair by a bunch of screens. And then there's one chair that kind of just looks like it's there by the porthole. Every chair has some buttons to do certain commands. Some of them are labeled very clearly, like activate, this, that. But then other ones are very submarine jargon, which you have the manual for. You'd be able to figure it out with enough study, but this is some of MIT's finest work at the moment. And it shows it. It looks very nice. There are some signs on the outside. There are a couple dents on the outside, some Shoggoth-sized dents, in scratches, but for the most part, it's in great shape.
Remembering the mural I saw,
Mm-hmm.
when the city was powered off, did it still look like it had a bubble over it?
So, interestingly enough, there was no bubble over the city.
If the bubble is a magic that the Great Old Ones are keeping up, and then they fall asleep, there's no guarantee it stays there.
Mm-hmm.
The sub might be a good backup plan if we can't all make
You
it
get
back
the
to
feeling
ship.
that the Elder Things, for lack of a better word, could hold their breath for a very long time. Or maybe can breathe underwater. Or maybe they don't breathe.
It's like they're squids or something.
It's something weird. It's like they're unfathomable older horrors. But yeah, the dome seems to be more of a convenience thing for rebuilding and for the humans that they have right now.
I'm going to examine the interior of the sub, like fuel, and from what I can remember from the manual,
Yes.
with the idea that this might have to be like an emergency escape route
Mhm.
if we have to like be in this area and we can't get back to like a bubble ship in time where like everyone else is escaping or something.
Yeah. Give me a intelligence check, an ID check, basically, too. Or spot hidden. I'll allow either.
They're both the same. I'll
Okay.
just do spot hidden. Success.
Success. So you're looking through it. You're looking at. You imagine some of these dials you'd need power to them to be able to see exactly where they're at. However, the fuel gauge is an old-fashioned fuel gauge. You are at half fuel.
Half fuel. I mean, it got down here with half fuel. Kind of reasons that you could get back up, maybe?
Mm-hmm. Especially if you're
I'm
just
ass-
trying to go straight up rather than
Yeah.
the
Does this
long
thing take-
distance that they went.
We got
from
plenty
where
of
they got.
gasoline. Does this thing take diesel?
Does the submarine take diesel? There are diesel-electric submarines. This would be one of them. This is not a uranium-powered submarine. It is a small research
that
vessel.
was a backup idea in case we couldn't use it. We just make it blow up.
Yes, no. Because a lot of submarines are uranium, used enriched uranium for the fuel, which is a 25 to 30 year lifespan. But that's mostly for big submarines and military issue. This is a small science issue, so it's got electric. It's basically diesel electric. So it's they need to resurface pretty often to turn on their diesel engines to charge their batteries. So the engine powers batteries. The batteries get, used up. Need more diesel. So if you could let it run for a little bit with the diesel, the batteries would get fuller. You just can't run the engines underwater to charge batteries.
I didn't bring any diesel with me. It is half full, though.
It is half full, though.
Kenneth, would it be an
It's like they had a
issue
Shoggoth escorting them half the way here.
Kenneth, would it be an issue if I just try turning this thing on for a little bit?
No, I don't see why not. We sound like we're going anywhere. Or not underwater. Well, we are, but the submarine is into the water right now.
It's a very landlocked
Yeah, feel
submarine.
free to push some buttons, do some things.
Yeah, this Uranus isn't going anywhere. I'm going to attempt powering this thing on so it can be ready if we need it. While all the while, I will ask Kenneth. So, Kenneth,
Yes.
you're an official diplomat for the Great Yith.
You could say that, yes.
Is there any way we could work out a deal?
What kind of deal?
I know we've been talking about me doing an exchange, which I'm
Yes, a
honestly
vessel.
still considering.
Quite a great honor.
Right. But just as you have your responsibilities to your people and you're abiding by your responsibilities to your agreement with the Great Old Ones, I'm wondering if we could come to an agreement. As you've provided us with the bubble spell, because it's not implicitly against your alliance, your
Correct.
allyship, maybe there's a way you can offer us additional support in return for something.
Well, what do you have in return?
I'm sitting in the Titan Uranus thinking.
Also, you're turning on the submarine. Do you have the instruction book with you, and are you referencing it?
I have an
To turn this
eidetic
on.
no, I don't have an eidetic memory. If I knew I was going to the submarine, I did bring it with me.
Okay, are you
because-
pulling it out to
because we were-
reference it to turn it on, or are you just trying to go off of memory?
I would.
Then you don't need to make any check. Yeah.
Oh, cool, good.
Now,
Yeah,
to
like-
drive it would require a check, but just to turn it on and look at the
Absolutely.
gauges like that's you have the instructions. You can just follow them.
Yes. If it's a pilot check, we'll let Teddy do it. If it's a drive
It is
check,
a
we'll let
pilot
Irina
check.
do it, heck.
You need the skill sub-pilot, which Wash has, or diving. They're very similar. Boat piloting.
After I get this thing up and running, I'm kind of letting it idle so it
Very
like can
specific.
refill its batteries.
Yeah.
I'll turn
Yes.
back.
Mhm.
I'm not under any like illusion that this guy is in love with me.
Uh-huh.
I look better to him. I might appeal to him more, but
You
I still
do.
think
You are
them
appealing a
as-
lot to the base human in the Yith. The Yithian is also, again, he failed his power check. He finds you so interesting, but he
Right.
does not understand why. He's confused, but intrigued. It's one of those things. After a week, he's gonna be like, "Wow, that was weird," when it wears off.
like
but
a temporary
a few days.
fascination or compulsion. Like
yes,
like
basically.
a weird craving. Craving.
Mhm.
Craves me. So I'm not playing to like trying to force a romance on him, but I am
Mhm.
kind of like playing to that interest that I am fascinating, I am interesting, and he is intrigued by my ideas, my actions, my words. That
Okay.
first I hope you'll tell me. It's like, well, you've been on this world for a while now.
Multiple
something you
times.
want?
Multiple timelines.
Is there something you want?
Oh,
Something that you
goodness.
can't get on your own that perhaps a cooperative human could help you with?
Well, we're always looking for vessels, as you know. It's better to have a cooperative human. Or entity. Again, they're not always humans we swap minds with. Is there anything I want? Interesting. Could be so mean. But I'm not gonna be quite that mean.
You could roll for it.
No. No, I don't think I could do. I don't think he'd have enough interest in that one thing. It'd be awful, but I don't think he has enough interest in that specifically. Well, there is a slight issue that we sometimes encounter doing certain things. Did you meet the individual back in Ushuaia? Bob, I think.
Bob.
Yes.
Player is drawing a blank. Have we met Bob?
Bob was the acclaimed time police that you saw.
Oh,
in
that
picture.
guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think I do recall running into a Bob at some point. We didn't really stop and chat too long, though.
Yes. What we Yithians do, we exchange minds with other beings across different segments of time. It's kind of a loophole, you could say, in certain governmental entities of time, but they still can be quite the nuisance. And there is something that I was hoping to achieve, but Bob would need to be taken care of.
You mean or just... I'm nodding along, but in my mind I'm going, holy shit, he is actually a time cop! Was exaggerating. Or using a metaphor I didn't understand.
Coop doesn't lie.
I'll be honest, I've never committed a murder.
Really? It's not that hard.
I mean, I understand the act isn't super hard, but... the opportunity just never came by, really.
Understandable. Yes,
And if
certain points in time, it's easier to get away with it than others. I mean, the forensics are at this point in time quite good right now. I mean, they'll get better, but,
The offer is you'll help us...
Well, it depends on what help you need.
Right. So you'll help us in a way that doesn't intrinsically, directly aid us in escape. Maybe tangentially.
Mm-hmm.
And in return, if we were to escape, I would fulfill this favor to you.
Yes.
Now, you've been among our world for a while. You know people lie, and as much as I like you and you like me, here, close in this Titan Uranus, would you just really trust me to fulfill my end of the bargain?
Oh, well, we'd make a pact.
Oh, magic, right?
You could call it that.
Interesting.
And if the thought of murder puts you off a bit, there's certain people of your group that would be more than happy to do such a thing.
Normally I'm like this,
I don't
and now I'm
imagine
like
I know.
this, so...
No.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, certain members of your acquaintances would be more than happy to commit a murder, I'm sure, if you were up for it.
Wait, which one of my acquaintances would be willing to commit a murder?
Oh, Bobby May.
I knew it! I knew it! Okay, wait. That's her business. I will press her on that later. back to the matter at hand. I guess we have most of the terms of an arrangement laid out.
And if still you didn't want to do a murder, I would settle for, have you met Doris?
You know what? I do remember Doris quite vividly.
Yes, if you could, get Doris away from Bob, that would be equally acceptable.
Really? Wait, so are you and Doris, aligned?
Doris isn't aligned with anyone. But Doris is a wonderful distraction for Bob and his organization.
That does seem a little more preferable to murder, I will admit.
He shrugs again,
Okay. Parker does take a pause. He's a guy who's made deals all his life, some really bad ones, and he knows a really bad deal when he sees one, but we're also in a pretty bad spot. We have a plan, we have a lot of tools and resources.
It also depends on which you desire. Of course, the terms could be, negotiated. I would like help with Doris, the whole Doris pub situation. What is it that you require help with?
That is an interesting question. Knowledge is a good one. I mean, it
Knowledge
wouldn't be-
is power.
just
for
knowing how things work
everyone.
is very helpful.
Yes. Things work, of time, etc., etc., etc. It's all very useful. Knowledge is power. Us Yithians are good abiders of that one. We accumulate knowledge. That's why our library is extensive.
Well, you know how humans work. We
Oh,
communicate,
yes.
we talk, we rely on each other. And as much as I like to make decisions selfishly, this does seem like a fairly important one. And besides, if I'm to do anything with Doris, I would need the cooperation of my comrades. So
Understandable.
I think this might be a tantalizingly bit of
Right.
a bargain to wait
Well,
for later.
You don't have too much more time to wait. The device... We do need to do the vessel transfers before the device is activated, because it's...
Oh, when would that
might
be?
have some side effects, so... a couple of days at most, really.
I think I would have an answer if we can make a bargain here or not by tomorrow.
Oh! Completely agreeable. I should open this picnic, right? Yes.
Oh,
And he opens the picnic basket, and inside is like, you don't know where he got this food from, but it smells amazing. He opens the picnic basket, and there is like fresh steamed dumplings and like cooked lobster and stuff. He just keeps pulling out like the picnic basket is full of just plates of hot steaming food of very high quality, and like a bottle of like old aged wine that is very expensive.
This isn't grilled snail. Where'd you get all this?
Oh, we've got some stuff to make food at the tower at the embassy.
Wow, I guess you've been studying cooking since you've camped here.
Oh, I just had to remember which human cuisines were the most favorable at this time.
I will admit, Kenneth, I am so intrigued by the offer to become a vessel.
It's pretty
be-
fabulous.
To be one of the rare few to experience more than what the bulk of humanity has gone through.
Mhm.
But it's the unknown
quite an
does scare
experience.
me.
It does
unknown
most
does
humans.
scare me. Like, will I still be me afterwards? Will my mind be intact?
Oh, mind? Well, you seem a clever individual. I'm sure you'd be fine.
But what if I wasn't clever?
The dullards do have a harder time with the transition periods.
Do they recover?
Oh, most of them do. You're more than welcome to psychology check anything he says, too.
Yeah, with my I guess it worked before. Sure, psychology check. Woo! Oh, that's the other end of the spectrum.
It's one of the things where there's always a chance in a Call of Cthulhu game, even if you have a low stat. You never know when you're gonna roll a 3 or a 1 or a 2 or,
That's very true. That's very true.
Don't be afraid of rolls.
What does the transference look like anyway? Do I just put my head in like a thing and then my brain
You sit in a
gets
nice
zapped?
comfortable chair, activate the device, small,
You
ritual
would
goes through.
transfer first, correct?
I would transfer you first, because
But then how would
you don't know how to
would
work
they
the
know
device.
right? But how would they know a body is coming, a mind is coming for them?
I just send a message.
You can send a message,
Oh, yes.
and it just happens like that.
Well, fairly enough, yes.
Wow.
We are very, a lot of our technology is, I guess the slang human term at this time, I guess would be called psionic, psychic, that, and also we've all traveled through different periods of time, so, I could leave a note, and someone in the past would have read it, etc., etc., so on. Or the future. We're to get back.
Let's see.
Device activates, the signal on the other side is received, they know someone's coming.
Yeah,
And also,
Carter
I'm
still isn't-
scheduled to go back during this week at some point, so, probably assume it's me. Actually, no, it would be to go okay. He just does some mutterings, about, like, very jargony stuff. They would know it's not me, but the signal would be coming from here, and thus they could assume I was doing a transference of someone else. There wouldn't be any mix-ups with that. You don't know how to operate our transference device, so I would activate it first, and then once the transference swaps, you would activate for myself. I could also activate it upon myself, should the Yithian who gets into your body has difficulties for some bizarre reason.
I see. Oh. It would be nice to talk with the person that you're swapping back with. You know, get a human's perspective on the journey.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any texts or records of humans who've done this before? Like, experiences?
All throughout your
I'm
history. Many of them
Really?
have written little books about their experiences.
Any more famous ones, or?
Oh, most of them kind of fall into obscurity. People think it's a bit bizarre. Fiction.
Interesting. Oh, can you pass me another dumpling? These are delicious.
Oh, of course, here. These ones are soup dumplings.
Ooh.
It's like, oh, there is one book. And he'll mention the name of a book, and I need you. Give me your, whatever, antiques dealer history check. See if you've heard of it.
Yes. I have.
Hey. It wasn't written by the person who did the transference, but one of his associates. Human associates. And you've actually read this book. This book is from the Industrial Revolution period. It is an English book. This person, you know how in the early 1800s everyone was going from England who was very fancy and cool on like adventures to the safaris of Africa and going to the Far East. Like they had all those wild and wacky adventures that they told very tall tales of. This was that person's assistant. Their person who carried all their luggage and stuff for them. Talks about how this person knew an individual for a while, Mr. Barkley. Actually, no, I'm sorry. That is not his name. Let me pull up his name. I'll find the name here in a minute. He went along with this person, who was usually kind of a stay-at-home scholarly type, and suddenly wanted to go on adventures around the world, looking to strange artifacts and sights. Most of it's treated as fiction, most of these adventures. However, they're not all fictional, it would seem, based on what this guy has told you. He went to an ancient temple in Africa and found a strange crystal, but then the temple started collapsing and they had to run and blah, 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 blah. This book was filled with chapters about this. Then there was a sequel, and not many people knew about the sequel, because it was less the fanciful adventures. And the name of the person was Baron Munchausen. And his autobiography, his assistants, basically. Like, the first book is about the Baron. Second one goes, and it says about how after the adventures finished and he went home, on his last adventure, he had a shift in behavior. It was rather strange. And he didn't seem to remember any of the adventures that he had been on. Probably a fall to the head. He did have a bit of a slip. But it was a bit, he kind of reverted back to his scholarly ways. A bit more scatterbrained than before. From this assistant's perspective, at least.
Interesting. But he seemed mostly intact.
Yes, he seemed mostly intact. Didn't seem to have a memory about what happened, although it is said that he talked in his sleep a lot more after his personality shifted back to how it used to be. And he talked about some weird stuff in his sleep.
Parker runs the numbers. If he's a vessel, it sounds like he buys himself a weird 2-year window where his body lives and he'll get to come back, but in how much might be up to question.
And what your body does while you're gone, you have no idea.
Yeah.
You could be a serial killer. We don't know.
Parker Lee, serial killer.
Parker Lee. whatever happens to your body, you will, if there's something that's delayed, you'll get the blame for it when you come back.
That's very true. That might have to be in the contract if I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah,
You
no
can't do anything-
crimes.
No crimes.
No
by the laws
crimes.
No crimes. According to human law. Okay,
Yes,
with that
According to current
information,
Earth law.
according to current Earth law,
Mm-hmm.
no being a pirate. Right. I think we enjoy our time in the Titan Uranus. There's more talk.
The picnic's really nice. It's a old French bottle of wine. It's very tasty. It's probably worth several $1,000s. Probably some of the most expensive wine you've had, at least in a long time. Yeah.
You're giving me a lot to think about, Kenneth.
Certainly. And you get the feeling that he said the name of that book offhandedly thinking you wouldn't know it because it's been out of print for a century or so. But you're an antiques dealer.
Yeah. I will have an answer for you tomorrow.
Certainly.
And I think at the same time I might have an answer about if I've summoned up the gusto to go for this honor of being a vessel. It is a lot.
Quite an experience.
I can imagine.
You're right, it's probably time for you to get some rest. I heard you're on manual labor now. It's probably quite tiring.
Yeah, I'm actually doing a lot better, except for this twisted ankle.
Oh, dreadful. Let's see,
Yeah.
we should probably take care of that. It's the current level of medical. Gonna make a roll. Oh, he does not know what's currently in as far as med tech goes. Nor did he pack it with him in his picnic basket. As well. Have your Dr. Bronwyn look at it. I'm sure she'll fix that right up.
Yeah, well, I'll let the doc look at it. Just didn't want to miss out on our date.
Oh no, yes, your dinner has been great. You should probably turn off the Titan Uranus before we leave. We want it running the entire time. I don't think they'd like that.
I will.
You see that
turn
the
off
battery's
Titan
charged up
Uranus.
to like 65, 70%
Okay.
now.
That's good. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you'll escort me back to my quarters.
Certainly.
And just to clarify, we're technically not allowed back here?
Technically, no.
And the floor like I believe you mentioned the floor like lights up shades
Yeah.
of color.
It's constantly lit, kind of like you programmed LEDs to be certain colors.
But when we walk on it, it doesn't change or anything. It's not like
Does
an
not
actively
change.
monitored. Okay,
It's
so it's
the floor does not seem to be monitoring people's activity.
Okay.
It seems more of just to let you know the boundaries. But you don't see any elder things over here, at least not right now.
Interesting.
It's pretty quiet. You climb out the ladder. You can squeeze out of the Titan Uranus, and close the hatch behind you.
Squeeze got me.
I thought you'd appreciate that one. You both squeeze out of the Titan Uranus, and
We are
he will
released.
escort you back to the human enclosure.
Thank you for another wonderful outing. And for a great dinner. I shouldn't have filled up so much on snail if I knew you were bringing food.
Oh, well, you can have the leftovers if you want. He'll
Really?
picnic basket. Oh, yes.
Oh, you're too much. And because I'm not sure if you understand phrasing and certain sayings, what I mean is you're being very kind.
Oh, yes, of course. Thank you. I do try to entertain possible vessels. Well, give you the full Yithian politeness. Oh, what's the word? I believe the southern United States calls it Southern hospitality. Hospitality, yes, that's the word. Yithian hospitality. We treat our vessels quite well.
All right. Well, same time tomorrow.
Certainly.
I'm glad I can keep your days interesting while you're waiting to go back home.
Oh, yes. Yithian's life is never boring. So much to learn. Much to monitor. See throughout space and time.
Shall I leave you with something interesting then? Something entertaining?
Oh, I would be most appreciative.
I will gently place my hand along his cheek and rub my thumb along his eye and down his ear, cupping his earlobe and rubbing it slightly.
Uh-huh.
That's all.
Interesting. Yes, quite. He looks very thoughtful, like that. Weird, conflicting feelings, baffled. What is this? And you are back at the ships, and he will walk back to his tower, the embassy, and just like touching his face, making a very confused expression, and just muttering to himself on the way back, like he does not know how to like exciting. But that was just interesting. Yep. And you are returned to the Chum Guzzler.
Yes.
Or you can return to where the other two are out with the doctor.
Yeah, I'll go meet up with them. I got hot food. Might as well share it.
You
with,
do have
good
some hot
company.
food. Yep. So Teddy and Irina, you've been studying more of the Yithian lightning gun, I assume. You see Parker walk up with a picnic basket.
Probably, like, by the way, just make sure Doc's not done anything weird in this time. She's just been...
Just normal weird scientist stuff. You
Happy
did hear a
with
little
lamb.
at a moment. She's like, I'm fine. It's fine. Just got a little hot. Too little too hot. Glass broke. It's fine.
Teddy sees Parker comes in. He's like, "Oh, you came back. That's shocking."
Hey. Okay, Mr.
See, I told
Snarky.
you I could be funny.
Okay, Mr. Snarky, I guess you don't want soup dumplings.
Wait, where'd you get soup dumplings?
Soup dumplings.
Soup dumplings, wine. What else is in here? Let's just say my host is very accommodating,
Apparently.
and I'll start handing out the grub.
Did you pay the host? Because that's a different kind of transaction we're talking about then.
This is more of a upsell on their part, trying to sell me on this great Yith experience, which I didn't know much about. I know you guys are kind of off about it, but it seemed interesting. But then he name dropped a book I've actually read, and I'm a little concerned. It isn't.
Which
It
book?
isn't like an actual. So all right, you go. Your body stays here. Your mind goes somewhere else.
Yeah.
The mind does come back. How intact it is another question. And whatever your body does, you obviously aren't here for it, so you don't remember. So.
Okay, before you go on, I need a soup dumpling for this.
Oh yeah, here. And I start heading out. Like maybe I grab. I don't know.
Hey, Doc, there's soup dumplings.
Just take a break.
Okay, just let me decontaminate. I'll be there in a minute.
That is
Thank you for your science.
disquieting.
She comes up in about 5 minutes, with the gloves off, the goggles on top of her head.
Anything exciting happen while I'm gone?
There is some fascinating chemical compounds going on in there. I do believe that these are the chemicals that are indeed used at the lava forges that you mentioned to regulate temperatures. There's something I'm missing, a piece of the puzzle, but in the right temperature ranges when added to lava, you could say, it does have a heating or cooling effect. I think it's based on the quantity of liquid applied, although I'm not entirely certain. I want to run some more tests. But you said there was food. Real food, not snails.
Here. Oh, yeah. Soup
Oh my
dumplings
gosh.
and some other stuff in here.
Oh,
Also wine. Very good wine, I might add. This is old as shit. When you say quantity, do you mean like a drop could heat up the lava while a cupful could like cool it down? Are we talking like that? Or is-
potentially, yes. I'm still, I believe that the
Precision,
smaller containers have the cooling effect, or more likely to have a cooling effect, because they have slightly different chemical compositions. I think that the tests I've done so far, they're not so different as much as the larger vessel is concentrated. Like when you have lemon juice from concentrate, imagine just having lemon concentrate.
Oh. So it might just all be the same thing, but the big barrel is like
super
used to make the small
concentrated.
bottles.
Yes, yes, that's a great way of phrasing it.
Actually, speaking of all the pouring and like the liquids and stuff, do I make any connections watching the elder things in the mornings when they're sprinkling shit into our lava?
Give me an idea check.
Good thoughts.
Please give me some good ideas. Hey, that's not too bad.
That is a success. You have seen them regulate it. They seem to, they don't seem to need a physical thermometer to check temperature. They just seem to be able to sense it somehow with one of their appendages. Like they hover it out, almost like a heat gun. You point it at something and it senses temperature. They're doing that.
Wonderful.
And
Can't
they
sneak around that.
they have a powder and they have a liquid. And you've seen them adjust, almost like, because you're on like a lava flow, right? Like a little lava river with weird comical forges. Oh, my elbow. That you forge in. They seem to sprinkle the powder into the river of lava to adjust flow speed, like the viscosity of the lava, and then they use the liquid to adjust the temperature.
Yeah. Just trying to remember and hold on to the liquid-y bit. How much do they use to heat it up? Like, do I remember, like for example, how long they pour, for example, before
Not
we were
very
allowed
long.
to? Okay. I think,
Sometimes it's just a few droplets depending on how hot it already is.
hang on, Parker. I'm gonna do a thing. Could you pass me the bottle of wine?
There you go.
Perfect.
Can I
And
have
I'll
some
just-
before you use it?
No, I'm not gonna use too much. Just want to show you something, Doc.
Oh.
So, all three of us have worked the lava forge, but I guess I've been there for longest now.
And the most
Um,
successful overall.
Yes, yes.
So this is what they do in the mornings when they're
Mhm.
trying to get us to, get the forges working. They have a powder for viscosity changing,
Oh,
probably lava rocks.
fascinating.
I don't know. You're the doctor. You
Oh,
probably know
what
more.
would you use to change viscosity of lava? She looks like
Focus.
you've sent her down an entire new brain wormhole.
But
Rabbit
they
hole.
also use a fluid of some sort, and they give a couple of drops. I'm going to show you with how much wine I pour. This is how much they pour depending on, like, for example, today's was already kind of hot.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I'll show you how much they poured in. I'll just pour them around kind
you're
of around the
working
same
with
time.
Iron, right?
Yeah, from the snails. You remember those snails up there?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do. So the base temperature of lava, in case you didn't know, the range of molten lava is about 700 to 12,000 Celsius, 1,300 to 22,000 or 2,200 Fahrenheit. Kind of very syrupy, or it can be very stiff, scarcely flowing at all. The slower it moves, usually the lower the temperature. The higher the lava's silica content, they're adding silica. The higher the lava's silica content, the higher its viscosity. So they're probably adding silica to adjust the thickness of it.
Like the gel?
Yes, like the
Capsules?
gel.
Oh, okay.
Yes, actually, it's very simple. I don't know why they didn't think of that sooner. To smelt iron melts at 2,800 Fahrenheit. So the base temperature of lava is too cold to smelt iron. So they're heating it up from the high side to iron smelting temperatures, which at minimum, 2,800. If it was tungsten, that would be 6,150 Fahrenheit. But that's a difference of at least 600 degrees. And if it's adjusting quickly, and they're only using that much, you said it was pretty hot today, which means it was probably on the hot side of lava, meaning the viscosity was pretty low. That means it's a 600 degree fluctuation is about this much liquid.
Yep.
Will adding more do more?
Potentially. I will experiment. I don't have lava here, but I think how quickly you add it affects how much the temperature changes. I'm going to do some more experiments right after we eat some more of this wonderful food. Didn't realize how hungry I was.
I mean, snail gets a little stale after a while, and
I have
you're
to cut them
you're
all
doing a
up,
huge service for
descale
us.
them. It's awful. Be glad you're not on culinary shift.
I imagine there's a lot of cutting involved
So
with
much
those
cutting.
things.
Doc,
We have to descale them, assemble the scales and the shells, and then take it over to the forge.
Doc, what would you say is the most useful piece of information to know in order to get all this to work?
Well, what are you trying to get to work?
We want to cool. The ultimate goal is to cool everything off.
The Fuenguino. She, like, points over her shoulder at the volcano, just like the base
Yeah.
of the mountain in the background. Oh, well, in order to do that, a couple of things. You would not want to put it in the lava river. That is an outgress and egress point from the core of the volcano. I'll use that terminology. Like I'm teaching a third grader, She's like telling herself to like not talk to non-science people.
Outgress and egress means just as a note.
Oh, yes. Yes. So you want to get it on an inflow, not an outflow. Your forges are on an outflow from the volcano. There's not usually a visible inflow of the volcano. However, I believe that these tubes that they have running through the ground, they are quite warm. They are doing the work of warming the dome. The higher up you get, the colder it gets. I did some experiments. So, if you could get, I think these tubes are circulating the lava from the volcano. Otherwise, it would just cool off. Even if they're adding this stuff to it, they'd have to be adding it continually along the line. I think they've made a circulatory system. So if you could find an endpoint in the circulatory system, and she points at the colored things, that could be a place where you could put in enough liquid, should we have enough liquid, to cool off Fuenguino, to make a volcano go extinct. Because the chamber, you have to basically dry out the magma chamber. I will say, the slower the lava moves, the cooler it gets. So if you add silica, it will decrease the temperature. However, if you find an endpoint in this power grid, like you said, it might get stuck in the power grid because when lava gets too cold, it turns to rock. So you'd want it to be close enough to the volcano that if you added just pure silica, that it would flow into the chamber first.
So find an intake point.
Find an intake point as close as you can to Fuenguino.
Find silica, but
Silica.
let it flow first with the cool off. And
I
then
would.
into the
I would
silica.
add the silica afterwards to slow it down. Even adding silica to an outgoing point in this circulatory system of this power grid would help it stop up a bit. It would be slower and let the chemical have more time to take effect.
And what would happen to us if the volcano were just to stop? Would it become freezing all of a sudden?
It would get very cold quite quickly. Thankfully, there's enough radiant heat in the dome that we'd have a few hours. We are several thousand feet under the ocean, a couple miles down. So
So
Aren't
this
the-
isn't. Oh, go ahead.
Aren't the elder things also the ones keeping this dome up?
yes, they are. I would assume.
And I
What
don't
little I
think they
know.
need it. It's mainly for our benefit.
All right.
This might be a thing we have to do as we're leaving because it's not going to get freezing instantly. to
Right.
the
No,
point
it would
where-
take a few hours to get
Ye-
cold.
Need to do this and get the fuck out.
Around after. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna think.
So, I mean, this is all part of the plan, right? Like, this all works together very well with the rest of the plan.
Right.
Yeah, but the plans all have to all work.
Hey Doc,
And-
here's another cup of that delicious one. Can you walk over and
Oh, my
just take a
goodness.
break? We need to talk about some stuff, and
Sure,
I'd
I
like
can
you
go
to
back and run
have
some more tests.
deniability. Yeah, perfect.
Test
so
to
much.
your heart's content.
Oh, I will. And she's happy to take a glass of wine, pulls her goggles back down, and goes back down into the
It's also a little concerning in a way, but
I mean,
Line
everyone
of
has
science.
their passions.
Hers is climate change and volcanoes. And you're talking about making a volcano go extinct. So this has never been done before by humans.
Irina, Teddy,
Yes.
I was exploring our options and talking with
If you
Kenneth.
tell me you're going to become a vessel as an option,
Separate
I'm
thing.
going to punch you in the
Separate
face.
thing. Separate thing.
Sounds like
Okay.
you'd make a really great lead
Ken-
singer of a particular band.
Kenneth is not moved to assist the old ones here. That's the reason he gave us the bubble spell, right? He doesn't particularly
Wait.
care if we escape or if they succeed or they fail. All he cares about is the device working so he can go home and or have me inducted into this vessel program. We'll talk about that later. I proposed a deal with him as a neutral third party
Okay.
where he could provide us assistance that does not directly relate to us escaping. This could be information like where is the nearest describing the system that we're dealing with here, or it could be more magic. There's a lot that he can offer.
And be like, I want more of this liquid. I want 1,000 pounds of silica. Like, I don't know. Whatever you want. He's got options. He's got stuff.
We don't know until we ask. I told him I give it a day to think about it. There is a trade-off though.
What would be the trade-off?
Remember that weird time cop guy, Bob?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently what these guys are doing is kind of like a weird loophole to time police stuff, and he doesn't want Bob around. So the initial offer was to just kill Bob.
Oh.
He then kind of said, well, if you're not comfortable with that, you can just you could instead make Doris leave. Not even necessarily kill Doris or something,
Yeah,
but
get Doris away
because-
from Bob. Like, basically help
Yeah.
her abscond. Like, get away.
help Doris escape from Bob, so he's busy tracking her down instead of monitoring whatever's happening here.
We are talking about the.
Yes, the penguin.
Penguin.
Okay.
And this is the Yith talking about Doris.
What the
Yes.
fuck is inside of that thing then?
I believe, and I quote, Doris is her own self.
Doris is her own
Yeah.
entity.
Doris does
Yeah.
not have any affiliations to any other.
Right. They're not
No,
like allies.
I
they're
get
not buddies.
That
but-
part, I'm following that. But on the outside, we're looking at a stuffed penguin.
Right.
So my question is, what is on the inside of that thing? Because is it like goop?
Maybe. You know what? I think for once that is a question that I feel better not knowing so I can sleep easier.
I don't know if I'll ever sleep easier at this point. Like, I feel like sleep has been sort of ruined by knowing, you know, that eyeball monster thing that almost ate you, Parker.
Yeah, that was a bad day.
And then, you know, now I saw the Yith through like a glass thing, and now I am seeing the Yith in person. I don't like this. So sleep, yes, is fucked.
Yeah, the odds are stacked against us, which is why this might be a really...
That is the most softball way of playing that, saying that ever.
What? You want to just... We're fucked. Yeah, we're really fucked.
Perfect. You got to get on me and Bobby May's level.
I'm used to sugarcoating and being exaggerating for my purpose, which is to say this could be a good deal. We can get info, we can get supplies, we can get a resource. If we do accept, we do have to accept that we're helping the Great Yith with something.
Why do you call
But
them the
that-
Great Yith?
That is how they refer to themselves. And
Great race
Yeah,
of
but that
youth.
doesn't mean you have to.
Parker stops and wonders, you're right, why did I call them the Great Yith?
Sanity
That's
check.
Really? Okay.
You've been playing a fine game.
Oh. That's a failure.
They're
You've
wearing
been
you down.
towing a fine line of talking with this
I
youth
have.
and getting info. And
Mm-hmm. It's a
Three.
dangerous game. I'm one away from goop level.
Run away from goop level. Maybe tomorrow.
Besides the point, is this could be something that helps not only save our skins, but everyone else here. If there's something we don't know, if there's something we need. There's one more thing. The sub is operational. And I was able to turn
it could be dragged or pushed towards the water. It'd be heavy, but you could do it with enough people.
And
Or leverage.
I was able to turn it on. Piloting is a different can of worms, but it is if it's in the water and we need to escape in it, and we're by the lava forges.
If I can drive a car as well as I can, I could probably drive a submarine.
Before we even get to the submarine thing, you said you got the bubble?
The bubble spell, yes. I put it with Bobby May stuff.
Okay, I'll have a look later.
So today is a good day. We made a lot of progress. We have options. We just don't have a lot of time. I think he said that if I wanted this vessel thing to go through, I have to decide the next couple days.
All right.
And he gives Teddy a look like, do not punch me, please. Not that I don't think we'll fail, but there is a part of me that's scared of dying. And from what I understand, I could come back mostly intact if I take this deal.
What does mostly intact mean?
Muttering in my sleep, nightmares, not remembering the last couple years.
So like, someone who went through the war.
Kind of?
You will have lost part of yourself.
I think this is a little different.
Is it better than
Because,
losing
like,
everything?
what if you went to the war, but you were in somebody else's body, and that body was not shaped in any way, shape, or form like your own, and it was operating on a whole nother level than the human mind?
Yeah, the descriptions have been messing with my mental. Absolutely.
And you're absolutely considering this as an option to avoid death. What if, and just hear me out on this, Parker, what if you do decide to take this deal? Your brain leaves your body, something else takes over your body, and then your body gets killed.
Well, then I'm just kind of on Yith forever.
Is that life?
Well, I guess technically, if they brain swap me before, I might be able to do it again. I'm not sure how that would work.
To somebody else's body?
Perhaps. Apparently, they do with all sorts of things, not just humans. And
So you just become a bear. Let's just use that for an example. Or an elephant.
Possibly. I don't understand all their culture, and the more I think
Or
about it, the more
something worse. Like you become like a weird jellyfish thing. Because that seems on brand for them. Is that what you want for yourself? You know what? Go ahead. I'm not gonna punch you. You be punching yourself.
Teddy, your words hurt me.
I am honestly kind of on Teddy's side here. I mean,
I'm not trying to be a dick. I hope you don't take it that way.
No. Like,
trying to keep things in perspective. If I'm gonna go out, I'm not going out in an alien body.
part of it is kind of a excitement to see more than what most of humanity has seen.
Even if it would break your fucking mind?
But a large part of it is...
Not like LSD will break your mind, because that's another experience.
No, the Teddy. A large part of it is fear. I don't want to fucking die. I'm scared as shit
I
of
don't
dying.
think anyone here wants to die.
Right, and this is an escape rope that just somehow kind of maybe like half saw through, but it's still a rope.
That's kind of half sawed.
I don't know.
That sounds like an escape, like firehouse pole, but it takes you to hell.
Maybe, but then like if that's the case, then what difference is if we do die here?
What if there actually is an afterlife, buddy?
Don't get religious on me.
I'm not trying to get religious, but my mama would say, what if?
God, I don't know, Teddy.
Because now you have to question everything. We got space aliens that have traveled through space and time.
I think another question to ask is, what is the dignity of a human life to you?
The dignity of a human life?
Yes. You can
What do you mean?
degrade yourself, and become something else. But what does it mean to live a dignified life? Is it worth trading?
live and die as a human or risk turning to something completely different?
Not just that. Do you think you'd be sacrificing your dignity?
They are kind of haughty. The great yet. Ugh. I don't know.
Anyone calls themselves great without being given that title?
I mean, look, I could talk about like how we debase ourselves for the systems we already have in place. Politics, religion, commerce, yada yada. But
Oh yeah.
I get your point, Irina and Teddy. Like, I do get it.
Like I said, I'm not above you on this. Like I said, I got beat up for money. That was literally my job for years. That's barbaric as shit. No one really should do that job at all. But we humans enjoy violence. And so I got paid for violence.
So you two wouldn't take the deal?
No.
No.
I mean, straight up, if I had to die here, knowing that I kept other people from this and no one ever knew about it, still be worth it.
As for me, the point is that you live and you die and then it's over. And you remain what you are. Teddy is strong. He's able to fight. And he has strong conviction. That is what makes him who he is.
Oh,
If I cannot play my music, if I cannot be near music, I am not me. And as for you, Parker, I don't know what you believe makes you you, but for me, you're likable. Do you think you'll still be whatever makes you you if you were another creature?
I slept in the same room as your snoring for days and days. That says something about how much I like you.
There's a small half thought Parker considered asking if the others could become Vessel 2s and we could all escape together. If things didn't go to plan, if things didn't work, could we all escape to this Yith place and survive that way?
Got some pretty nice vessels over here.
Hey!
You want the tall and muscular model or the musically inclined? Parker nods.
Second campaign. Oh, no.
Parker nods.
Oh.
Normally, I guess, normally he's one to do a lot of the talking and kind of press his ideas on other people. But I mean, what the others are saying is true, and he's trying to listen. But there's a part of him that's still scared, which is a very human thing, and I think he realizes that.
And
he
I think
wonders if
Go
that's
ahead, I'm
all
sorry.
right. No, he just wonders if maybe it's okay to be scared. It's just part of being human.
Yeah. And I think Teddy gets that, which is why Teddy didn't actually punch him in the face. Like,
Parker
because
appreciates that.
Teddy gets it. And it's like, you get to make that choice for yourself, but I would make a different one. And I hope you would too.
Well, he doesn't expect my answer till tomorrow or when he has to leave, effectively. Apparently, they got like a communication system. You can just send a message and they get it, where no matter, even through time, space, all that jazz. But deep talk aside, what about the other part? A deal for information, for supplies. You might want to wait for the Doc and Bobby May to rejoin and get their thoughts on it, but maybe I don't mind grabbing the penguin and running onto an airport onto an airplane in a sense. I don't know how much that will help this Yith agenda or if that's going to domino into something terrible down the road, but it seems like a pretty small trade-off for making sure we and as many people as we can help get out of here alive.
Well, yes, but, and I don't mean to throw rain on your parade, but if they're trying to get us to get Doris away from this Bill guy, does that mean they're going to kill Bill?
No, they want Bob to chase after Doris.
Bob.
They want Bob to leave, to not be in the area any longer, distracted.
Then okay. Well, I mean,
Um,
y'all have a relationship with the penguin. That I don't understand. I'm not touching.
That's a
I'm
Bobby
not
and
touching
May and
anything.
Irina
That
thing.
thing's creepy as
I got
fuck.
my own weird thing going on here with Kenneth. They can have the penguin.
Like, who wants a water bird that is apparently alive in some way and being puppeted around by some crazy person and then dressed up? I just no, I'm not a fan. Not a fan at all. Nope, not at all.
say
Absolutely fucking not.
Missions, but she just holds up her hands like peace. That's fine. Honestly, on my end, grabbing Doris sounds like a cheap price to pay, and frankly, he never said you can't talk to Bob afterwards about this entire thing. He just said grab Doris and go.
He does have magic. So there might be something about that where I can't like go against the will of the deal. I'm not even sure if that means if you guys go against it and I don't, I'm still punished for it. That might just have to be a later problem.
Hold up.
That
Wait,
certainly
you'd have to like
magically
it.
swear.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Magic
like
Talks to you in
swear.
contract.
A
Like
magic
some
pinky
sort
swear.
of pact.
For
there's
this
an entire
specific
campaign I played
this
with
for
this time.
this specific thing. Most likely, yeah.
Oh.
That sounds honestly like a
Get
terrible
Doris
idea.
away from the time police. Buy her time.
However, yeah. I mean,
I'd take shaking hands with the devil over swapping bodies with the devil any day.
yeah, that it's the lesser of two evils.
Parker's gonna stash the quarter or the third of the wine we got left for Bobby May and the Doc when they get
That's
back.
fine. Yeah, you're
The,
able to
the
snatch
food
it
we
all.
can eat, the food's not gonna keep, I don't think.
Mm-mm.
But we'll save them some
Also,
good
soup
wine.
dumplings gets gross when they get cold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
No
We do.
problem.
Something to sleep on, I guess.
Yes. There's a lot that is almost ready. You know that the tunnel has been dug under the device. Explosives are ready to be planted. And can be whenever people are ready. You've got some info. You're getting some info about the lava situation. You've got a lightning gun. You've got info about the Titan Uranus, where it's at. You've got a bubble ritual that Arena you wanted to look over actually. That might help make a new bubble or manipulate the existing one potentially. So options. Don't know what give me an occult check, Irina.
Hey, speaking of checks, because I'm like trying to get us
Yeah.
a bit of a one-up. During the time that Teddy and Irina were watching the doctor, could Teddy have at least made a library check?
Yeah, to study the lightning gun.
Yeah.
Yes, Teddy can make another library or int, because you learn int to figure out how to use it the first time. So library use, intelligence, or education check to learn about more of the lightning gun.
Perfect. And I will also be doing an occult check. All right. Low numbers, low numbers, low numbers. Fuck!
You jinxed it. You can't chant low
Damn
numbers,
it.
low numbers, low numbers while you read it.
Next time I'll say high numbers. That's it.
So
today.
yeah, no, it looks a little complicated. You might want to go over this with Bobby May later. But I do need you to make a sanity check since you're trying to decipher a spell.
Cool. Hey! There's the low number.
You will still lose some sanity, but it's the smaller dice
Let's
instead of the
go.
big dice. 1 point of sanity.
I gracefully accept this very, very painful thing.
Yes, I mean it could have been a lot worse if you'd failed. The dice would have been a bigger number.
Oof.
But yes, learning spells takes your sanity. I don't know if people know this, but yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it probably just looks like a bit defeated. It's like, maybe I need to talk to Bobby May. She has the right feeling for it.
Yeah, Goop, Bobby May might be able to help you figure this out later. It's a lot right now, and You've started to at least memorize parts of it. It's just deciphering the rune or the sigil is making your head spin a little bit. You can give it another go later after you sleep. Yeah. But Teddy, if you wanted to make that library use, intelligence, or education check to learn more about the lightning gun before Parker joined you, since you did have some hours.
Absolutely.
So over there, could I have
One
helped?
more again.
One more go.
Do you want to take any riskier chance here? No, definitely not library use.
All right, you get another
Oh boy, I'm so glad.
another 2 points of Yithian lightning gun skill.
Woo!
What's your total at now? It should be like what, like 18 or something?
20.
20. Look at you go. You're
What am I
almost.
now?
You're basically at I think that's handgun or rifle based proficiency is 20. So you're at base proficiency with it now. Consider. You've studied it. You've read the whole manual. Ugh. To get more use out of it, to get more skill at it, you think you'd have to practice with it.
Yep.
You've
shoot something.
gained all you can gain from study on the Yithian lightning gun.
I'm gonna have to shoot something.
So excited.
Is there anything else y'all three would like to do before you go to bed this fine night? Evening? You're underwater. Daylight looks the same.
Yeah, I was saying, can we tell the difference?
No. Not really.
You guys want me to give you the chum guzzler for the night, or I can sleep outside. Find another ship.
That's probably a bad idea, Parker. It's not
Yeah,
safe.
don't do that. We're all right.
Yeah,
Just trying to be a good roommate.
that's kind. But again, we all need sleep. And our survival comes first.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna practice my piano before bed. By piano, I mean fake piano. I have a little rollout.
Mm-hmm. Practicing your
mind?
fake piano before bed.
Parker's pretty
Patty
tired.
is going to do a little workout.
Nice. And
Probably
Parker?
not as like heavy as normal, but you know.
Because you gotta work out today at the forge. Yeah. Hey, what about Parker?
Parker's pretty tired socially. He's been more extroverted to get the information
Yep.
he needs. So I think he's gonna go to bed early. But I think as he's falling asleep, the last thing Irina said kind of echoes in his mind. Our survival comes first.
Mm-hmm. You do see Brenda one more time on your way back. She looks like she's heading to her ship for the night. She goes, "Hey, so we're gonna start moving that gasoline in the morning. Ship you found. Let's get those barrels. I think we found a way we can smuggle it in some smaller containers, and just, carry some of the liquid out that way."
That's good. Thanks for letting us know. If you can, and if you know anyone who's going to go near Bobby May and the dock, just let them know to when they're done to come back, because we got a lot to update on. We got
Sure thing. I think they'll be back. I think during the next shift change, they're gonna swap back.
Gotcha. All right.
All right. Good night. She
Good night.
goes off to the Water Wonderland. And Dr. Renee Nelson is going to be experimenting with the chemicals all night until it's time for her to help prepare breakfast for everybody. So she's pulling an all-nighter. But she's getting so much science done. Like, so much science. In fact, let's see how... She's been doing really well in her roles, too. I say that, I'm gonna jinx her. No, actually, maybe she's made a breakthrough. But we'll find out next week. All the information that your dear scientist, Bobby May and Bronwyn have gathered during this period next week. And I believe we will have a guest next week as well. I'm not 100%, I haven't received confirmation, but I believe the next 2 weeks we will have 2 different guests. Yep. A guest this week, and then a different guest the week after that. So we will have some guests. Hopefully, fingers crossed that the schedules stay good, because they are busy people. So it'll be very exciting. I can't wait to see how you guys pull this off. I see you guys have kind of formulated even more of a plan. I can't wait to see how you guys explain that to the other 2 when they're back here next week as well. So Let's go around. Let's say who we are, where we can find you, and your favorite moments from tonight's game. We'll start in the same order. Yutsai, Parker Lee, how was tonight for you?
It was a lot of fun. A lot of deep. I like the deep thinking. There's a lot of good conversation this time. And once again, over a nice dinner. That seems to be our theme.
It is. It does seem to be the theme.
Yes. Hello, I'm Yutsai. I had a lot of fun tonight. Honestly, as I said before, just like the great thoughts from both Teddy and Irina, and about kind of like Parker's dilemma, coupled with the player's own lack of knowledge about what being a vessel entails, which is just making this decision even harder. So
I can't wait for this campaign to be over and you look it up and you go, what the fuck?
First thing I'm doing after the campaign ends. But yes, this is currently the main show I'm doing. I like to play games online with cool people. Case in point, cool people. But yes, you can find me on the Blue Sky app under Yutsai, which I still really haven't posted on. I should probably start doing that. But yeah, I had a great time tonight.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. We hope that Bobby May and Dr. Bronwyn, aka Hannah and Nugget, feel better soon, and will be joining us next week. But we do have Irina. Irina Zhao, how was tonight for you?
Hello. Yes, I have had. I feel kind of melancholic, but I think that's a good thing because we had a really we had some deep talks, and I think that's the energy.
What better place to have a deep talk than the bottom of the ocean? You can't get deeper, really.
When I say we're literally very deep, it's fantastic. God, favorite moment of the session. I definitely enjoyed that talk that we had near especially the end. It was very emotional. It was nice to see Teddy just really giving that humanity on his side. And of course there's Parker again, extremely human as well. That fear, that wanting to grasp on a spider's thread. And then there's also, of course, Irina's perspective. It was just a really interesting perspective kind of triangle. That was awesome. We got some more ship moments. That was very excellent. As a how do I say this? In my home games, as the master of fleets.
No, you're the master of fleets. You are like the FedEx headquarters. You are like you got that DHL on lockdown. You're like express.
I appreciate my adding more ships to my collection. It's been quite wonderful. I'm including yours, by the way, Parker, as weird as it may be. You missed it, Prince, but there were some moments when you were gone that Lindy and Yutsai were they have managed.
Oh, I heard every bit of that. I was in the kitchen cracking up because I just walked over there to grab coffee and I was like, y'all.
Yeah, I choked. I actually choked. That was amazing. That was one of the highlights of my day. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. That's why we're in the chum guzzler, Yeah. As for who I am Lauria Lark, or Snow, whatever you want to call me. You will find me here next week, ideally, as long as nothing goes wrong. And yeah, I've really loved this session. Can't wait for next time.
Indeed. Someone who also can't wait for next time is Teddy, the Terrified. How are you?
Hello, everyone. So I'm Dimples and Dice on all the socials. Yeah, if you look me up, you pretty much find me anywhere except Facebook. And probably soon X, Twitter, whatever the fuck you want to call it. That shit's garbage. Anyway, yes, let's talk about favorite moments from this session. So, I mean, we already covered the conversation that we had towards the end, which was great. Thought that was fantastic. So I am going to just go ahead and say the Titan Uranus, just all of it. I just, y'all are too, God damn it. Both you and Yutsai, y'all are fucking monsters. I saw what y'all were doing. Y'all kept that shit going. I was trying not to laugh, and when I walked to grab my coffee, I literally had one moment where I just bust out laughing, and my wife goes, "What?"
Did you tell her Titan Uranus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. And she just shakes her head. I was like, well,
My husband does that too.
That's what you just shook her head. So of course you'd find that funny. I'm like, yeah, then the chum guzzler too. Anyway. Yes, this is fun. I'm excited to blow this place up, whatever the consequences may be. Hopefully Parker does not become a great Yith.
Hopefully.
That's all I got.
We'll find out. My favorite moments from tonight's game was watching Snow slowly fall out of her chair and onto her desk every time the words Titan Uranus were mentioned. Getting Parker with the word squeeze, that was pretty good, getting you inside there. I take great pride in naming my vessels, so when I was coming up with a name for the submarine, like, it has to be good, it has to be memorable. It has to be a pun because it's me. So I was like, oh, the big ship's gonna be the Titan Oceanus, so no one sees it coming, and it's also in theme when the submarine is the Titan Uranus, because we're just going off of, Roman god names. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So just a measure of pride for me there. Glad it tickles y'all so well. I also really enjoyed putting Irina and Teddy on the forges together, because last week y'all were like, oh no, Irina's gonna be all alone. I'm sitting there going, no. And y'all started this ship, so that's even better. I was planning already shifting you two around just to throw off the dynamic a bit, so no one got too comfortable in any role. Just mix it up a little bit. So that was fun, and y'all keep rolling good luck checks when excavating in the old city. All the stuff you're finding is off the luck check chart. I've got a chart of things you can find that would be helpful if you roll lucky, and y'all have been very lucky. So yes, as in our backstage chat, Sweaty Teddy taking off his shirt. That's a highlight for all of the wonderful audience out there. I mean, just look at the visuals. It's, just imagine in your mind space. Lava forges. That's cool enough. Yeah, for the fans. For the fans' service. Just everybody. Parker, aka Yutsai, speedrunning to see Goop, which I believe he'll be able to see Goop next session. If he chooses to take one from sanity and not from health. So Bobby May wouldn't be alone. And who knows what those two are doing in the ancient libraries / archives of the Elder Things. I'm sure there's no sanity lost down there. I'm sure Dr. Bronwyn and Bobby May are fine. And y'all calling on the volcanologists to do the sciencey shit. You're like, we're not scientists. Could you look at this stuff? It involves volcanoes, right? Right? Y'all are very clever. And I'm excited to see your plan come together whether you cool down the volcano or blow it up. You have the ability to do either one, maybe. So it depends on what info you get next week. So I'm very excited for next week and our mystery guest, whoever that might be. So thank you all so much for watching and hanging out. You can find us here, Laugh Love Lindy. We now have a Tuesday campaign. Every other week on Mondays, we have our Mondays in Exandria, the new batch game where we're playing through Critical Role's Call of the Netherdeep. We're in an underwater city there too, but it's worse, arguably. Well, it's about as bad as this underwater city is, but more D&D flavored, so there's a lot more hope. And then on Tuesdays, we just started I'm the GM, a Ghosts of Saltmarsh campaign. We had our session 0. They all met at a funeral and are checking out a haunted house that one of the people inherited. And there's a 4-year-old, and she's real cute and is going to cause much trouble for the group, I'm sure. I love it when player characters are like, I have a child, and I'm like, great, fantastic. So if you want to see that, that'll be on not this next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after, and I'm very excited for all of that. And of course, here next week for the next few weeks of Below the Lands of Fire, because we're wrapping it up soon, folks. So until next time, have fun and play games.